Clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
Clobberanimo!
Yeah, Clobberanimo indeed. Greetings, clobbers and clobberanimos and clobberuskis and clobberoids and every other kind of clobber there is out there. Welcome to Clobbering Times number 513 on YouTube, 1,213 overall, and Clobby's Clubhouse number 67 with... We indeed. My one
Clobberanimo!
She says that.
And with me.
Everybody. And well, it's not good. It's not got out of control here. We'll put you over there just for that. Welcome everybody. Well, okay, me and me. I'm not even gonna say their names. They're we and me. We me are here. How about that? They announce themselves. That's how they announce themselves. That's how they're going to be treated as we me.
That's my pronouns for tonight. Yeah.
Yes, we and me. Hello, my good friends. Welcome to some Clubhouse time on a Thursday night. A busy Thursday night probably out there. But anyway, that's okay. It's just good to see you all. So let me do some show notes and shout outs and then get on with it, shall we? How about it's casual here, but we like to get things controlled.
Just cash.
That's it. How about we shout out our fantastic wrenches?
Let's do that.
The great Eric K, the bronze wrencher.
Love you.
And of course, Chris Persia, the Vindicator wrench.
Love you, love you, love you.
You the man. D. Bud Martin, buddy. I hope you're feeling better, man. Just big time with you there, brother. I know you're not feeling all that great right now, but
not good.
Shout out to you, bro.
Yeah.
The great LT Lordnoff, thanks for the info earlier. I shall definitely be taking your advice. The god of wrenches, and of course, shout out to you, Avon. Long live the Legion, and shout out to the lovely Lady Thoth, my friend.
Lord and Lady.
My sidekick on Earth, too, the great Wrench Without Fear. Hey, man. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Reporting from Earth B. And, of course, the Clobboni master and official artist of Clobbering Times and Science Fiction Tales by RAQUEL Briggs. It is Hungry Boy with all those other hungry names he has.
Is that a new graphic, or am I just have a bad memory?
You have a bad memory.
That's new. You have a bad memory like me. You got it from me. You got it from me.
It's catching.
Super Wrench Kal-El.
Kal-El, the real soup.
Wielder of Wrench Mjolnir. Maddie's daddy. Hey, buddy.
Daddy.
Hey,
And the
Steve.
Phantom of all wrenching.
Fanty.
Fanty outsidey. What's up, E? Good to see you, E. Let's see who else is up in here. Crusader Relief Comic The Comic Relief Crusader.
Hello.
Looking through a mirror. Hey there, dude.
Hell.
Thank you. Welcome. Stuart Mitchell. What
Dolly
is
had
up?
braces.
Indeed,
That's for sure.
Oh my goodness. Donnie Pearson. What is up, my friend? Thank you for popping in. Always
Evening.
good to see you, buddy. Let me see here. Scrolling.
Scrolling. Keep that scrolling going.
A lot of people's here.
Right.
Classic Comics. What up, CC? Good to see you, buddy.
See.
Claude Selling. Hey.
Selling.
Grim. What's up, Grim? Good to
Hey,
see
Grim.
you. I like that name. Michael Beacom. What's up, Michael Beacom? Good to see you. I
And
hope you-
Cassandra Beacom. Good evening, Beacons.
Cassandra.
Love you guys.
Yeah, I hope you guys are doing great. Sean Carter of Mars. I said it
Sean
before.
Carter of Mars.
I
And
wanted to
also
say-
Earth.
I wanted to say it from actually, of course, it's not even Mars or Earth. It's Barsoom and Jassoom. But yeah.
Oh, there you go.
How about Barsoom instead of Mars? Let's get it right.
How about I continue to tease him just whatever way?
I don't know, because I don't know Sean. He may not take a kindly to that sort of
Oh,
thing. We
well,
don't
you know, Sean, put on your big boy pants.
The
You're
other,
now from Mars.
well, there's another Sean to deal with here, and that is Decepticon 787.
Hey, I love Decepticon. Hi,
Hey, buddy.
sweetheart.
Hey, Sean.
What's up, bud? Good to see you, Sean. Both Seans. Good to see both Seans, no matter how you spell your name. Let's see about the lovely Sherry. Oh my goodness.
Hey, sweetheart.
Not just the lovely, the beautiful, lovely Sherry, and long live the Legion of Memers. And I hope you're doing well.
It's true.
Captain James T. Skywalker. Yeah, up in here. Lemon pie.
Lemon pie.
He's my lemon pie. I don't know whether lemon is a he or she, but it's just the song gets in there, even though it's not even the right pie.
Yep.
I can't explain it. So, anyone else who pops in will be duly recognized. In the meantime, I want to say, well, what's up, my crew? What's going on?
What up?
Number one.
Well, you know, nothing much. It's the same old, same old. I have some movies for everyone, and I have some shout outs. I'd like to shout out Cardinal Sin, Shooter, Larry, Tony Stark, Chris Persia, Scuba Pete, Eric K, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, and Mark D with a C. Thank you so much for supporting my writing on my Patreon. I really need it, and it means the world to me, and I love you all very much. Thank you, and hail to the whole chat. Hello, everyone.
Hail, Michael. Sorry, I was going to say Michael Carney. I didn't mean to miss you. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I didn't see. I looked. I thought I checked all the chats. So my bad. But welcome, Michael Carney, and of course Dave Rabin. What's up, cuz?
And Death Ray's here.
Ray. Thank you for the $3.99 Canadian super sticker. Death Ray, thank you so much. So I'm so sorry about that, Michael Carney. Not intentional, my friend. We try to get everybody.
Yeah.
I didn't know. And it is damn cold in here. I'm about to put a coat on.
Well, we're getting that cold wave coming up, so it's supposed to be.
But you guys just live in cold though. When it's a big deal here, because we don't get cold that much. So when it happens,
oh yeah, then you can't.
you're
you can't,
used to it.
You can't handle it. Yeah.
Well,
Of course, we've been
I
spoiled.
enjoy it.
We've had some warm winters lately, so relatively
Yeah.
warm.
We've had no winters ever, so there you go. Cardinal Sand, what's up, buddy? Thank you for the $9.99 super sticker. Appreciate you too much, Phil. Gil. Let's see, I can actually see what it is now.
I can't. And Captain Infinity and Beyond is here.
Oh, wait, time traveled in. Awesome.
What's up?
With some popcorn.
Captain Infinity and Beyond, what is up, buddy? Thanks, Cardi. Appreciate you, bro.
Make sure you follow
Yes,
Gil.
sir. Follow Gil to the ends of the earth. Yeah. Let me.
Oh, Sean says that he's good with the teasing. It's okay.
Oh, in that case, why would we do it? We only do things around here if people don't like it. Just
I shall continue then, Sean Carter, because I happen to think you possibly have the coolest name.
Right, it is.
On YouTube. I just love your name. I just think it's the coolest.
Cool indeed, sir. Lisa. What's up,
Hey, Lisa?
Good to see you, dear.
I found Lisa on Twitter.
I did too.
I don't normally follow people because I'm just not very good at socializing. But I found her and I was so excited. I was like, Lisa from YouTube.
Yeah. I hope our buddy Rob Altus pops in, because before we get started with the movies, I wanted to say a big thank you to the great Eric K. Back in September, when the great friend Rob Altus told us about the prisoner toys that were going to be released and shipped out soon, and turned out right before Christmas. The ones I ordered from the kicks, or the backer, the ones I backed.
So jealous.
Showed up, and then that night, Eric K. Made a very kind donation and said, use it to order one of these toys from Big Bad Toys. They had a limited selection. They weren't offering all the toys. So I got mine in today from Big Bad Toys. They found the other day, actually.
Shut the front door.
Big
How
Bad
bad
Toys.
is it?
They are this bad.
It's
They're
bad
tiny,
to the bone.
but I couldn't decide what to get. It didn't have the one you always liked about the Rover one, but I loved the episode Checkmate, so I went with this one.
That's a good one. But yeah, I think the gold
That's
standard
awesome.
for that collection, that's going to be like a huge collector's item for sure, is going to be the clamshell rover, not the inflatable rover, the clamshell rover. It's just so sexy. It's so beautiful.
Wish I could have got it.
I mean, anything from the prisoner is cherry, boss. I mean,
I wish I could have got it. I really do. These toys are tiny. Your Muslim uncle, what's up, buddy?
hello. Are
Well,
you
I'm just
going to
glad
take
to
them
have
out of the container? Like, are you going to take them out of the wrapper? Are you going to put them on the
You
bookshelf?
gonna free him
Like
from the
that?
island?
You mean like that?
Oh, you did. Beautiful.
I always do. I don't leave toys in the box or the package.
gorgeous.
Ever. I don't do that sort of
I'm
thing.
so happy for you. And this is so gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous.
I love
Very
it.
nice. Yeah.
That's such a good episode, too.
I love Checkmate. It's one of the 7. Even though I love, Magootin would not be happy with me, but I even love some of the non-7s. But still,
Don't say that.
what does
He'll
he
hear
know?
you.
yeah, he'll hear me. There's some great non-7 episodes of The Prisoner. I just love, the 7 ones are the ones he counts the most. He only
That's
counts,
right.
but still,
He's said
I love some non-7s. I mean, Hammer into Anvil, and A, B, and C are great, and even Schizoid Man. They're great episodes. They're not 7s, but they're great, and there are a lot of other great ones too. So,
Yep.
But Checkmate's a 7, and it's a masterpiece. I love it, man. With the great
Yep.
Peter Wengard. So anyway, just wanted to show that. If Rob Altus pops in, we'll show it to him later.
Thank you,
He's-
Rob, for
he's gonna
enabling
be
and
so happy.
RK.
He
Great
sure
job.
helped me remember about it, because it's been so long since I backed these things that I'd forgotten about them. So
Yeah,
Rob
that was
jogged my
crazy
memory.
that night.
Just in time.
Yeah.
Just in time too. He was a CPD.
And that was one of his buddies that works there. Or I'm trying to
Yes, a
remember
friend
the
of his
connection.
that works for the ones who made the toys. Hey, JD Lewis.
JD Lewis. Hi, sweetheart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a friend of his who that worked for them, so who helped make it. Was one of the guys who put the line together. So
Nice.
let's see. I guess for our first up tonight, of course, is our wonderful first officer, who's been having just an extraordinary recurring feature here on the Clubhouse, where she watches some science fiction movies and what have you, and shares bills with us. So we all enjoy that, and I can't wait to see what she's got for us this week. So everybody, I turn the card over to Commander Briggs. Go for it.
Well, thanks, boss. Yeah, on Monday and Tuesday, I watched some movies. I'm a nerd who's trying to geekify myself since I'm hanging around with all these geeks and know all this stuff about films and all these classic films, and they have them all memorized. So, I'm playing catch up here. Book nerd here, academic nerd here. So, I'm having a ball. It's super fun. And this week, on Monday, it was suggested to me that I watch. It's going to come up on the screen here. The Day of the Triffids.
Yeah.
Now, I know many of you, Phantom Outsider, good evening. I know many of you are listening to this like a radio show. You don't participate in the chat. You don't watch. You just throw it on in the car and go.
Shout out to the lurkers.
So here's the deal. Right now, I just put up what I'm pretty sure is called a lobby card. I don't think that this one is a film poster.
I think so.
It's gorgeous.
Lobby card, yep.
And it has written in a really spooky font that's sort of half fiery type of blood, half white. It says the Day of the Triffids. And then it's got this, green and yellow swamp sort of background. And then a crazy alien looking pokey plant. And it says spine chilling terror. And there are all these people running away from it. So it's a beautiful, beautiful lobby poster. And once you get out of the car, maybe give it a bit of a goog or a bit of a brave or a bit of a duck, duck, go, because it's a great poster. And now I'm going to read a little bit from Wikipedia, because I have not been like academically searching these movies out. I wait for them to be suggested to me, or I allow the algorithm to suggest them to me. And then I took some advice from some geeks, not to sit there and, break it down like I normally would academically, but to just sit back and enjoy it. And then come to the Clubhouse and just talk about it with all of you organically. And so, that's what I've been doing. It's been working out for me. So I haven't done any research on this film. I just watched it and enjoyed it. And now I'm going to read a little bit about it to bring everybody up to the same speed and to introduce it to those who haven't watched it. The Day of the Triffids. The Day of the Triffids is a 1962 British science fiction horror film. I agree with that genre. In a world where all genres are being conflated, science fiction horror film, that I would agree that's what this is. But not true horror. I wouldn't say it's like super scary, but yeah. In the CinemaScope and
Are you saying it's not spine chilling?
No, it's not.
Oh.
And Eastman color, produced by George Pitcher and Philip Jordan, and directed by Steve Seckley and Freddie Francis. It stars Howard Keel and Nicole Maury and is loosely based on a 1951 novel of the same name by John Wyndham. The film was released in the UK by the Rank organization and in the US by Allied Artists. And now I'm going to read a little bit from the plot here at Wikipedia, but I'm just going to read the first paragraph. And believe me, this plot, wow, you should see it here on Wikipedia. It's like, it must be at least 1,500 words. It's a long one, maybe more.
Did Paula Block's husband write it?
Yeah, right. Terry J. Erdman must have had a hand in this. I'm kidding, and so is Mark. A meteor shower blinds most people in the world and at the same time spreads triffid plant spores, which quickly become animated. Bill Mason, a merchant Navy officer who has been lying in hospital overnight with his eyes bandaged, is unaffected and leaves the next day. While at the railway station, he comes across an orphaned schoolgirl named Susan, who, having spent the night in a luggage van, is unaffected as well. He helps her escape the groping crowds, and they commandeer an abandoned car in order to reach his ship. On their way, the car gets stuck in the mud, and while they look for stones to gain traction, a mobile triffid ambushes them, and they barely escape. Meanwhile, scientist Tom Goodwin and his wife Karen, have been isolated in a lighthouse and only learn of the world emergency over the radio. Karen alerts Tom to the triffid growing on a ledge. Inside, they discover another, and Tom has to battle it off. some really poor writing here. Sorry, folks.
Hmm.
Though it appears dead, they discover that triffids can apparently regenerate themselves. The couple then barricade themselves in and set to work to discover some means of neutralizing the plants. So here's the deal, folks. That's all I'm going to read. This was a very interesting movie. I thought it was good, but I don't think that it's good for film. And I'll explain why. The entire time I was watching this film, I thought to myself, okay, this is pretty good, but it seems like it's very obvious that the film cheapened the novel. And the person who I watched it with, which is HB, he actually read this novel, and you could tell that there was so much more. And it gets into the fullness of what a film can do. And so this isn't a very long film. I forget how many minutes it is. It's 93 minutes, just checking here. And I sort of thought it was weird. So it was too full, but it was just perfect for a novel. So we have this idea that there's a meteor shower, and everyone goes blind. And so that is that's a common theme. It's a common idea in science fiction, that everyone goes blind, and then what happens, right? Like the novel Blindness, and this is a common idea, right? Everyone goes blind, and then what happens? We need our sight.
Yep.
But then on top of it, and that's usually where a film would stop. But then on top of it, we have these odd plants that are man-eating plants. And the way they propagate is quite strange. So then we have this on top of it. And these plants can get up and walk around. They're very slow moving, kind of hokey, because they can't chase anyone down. They should be, less alien looking, so they could take people by surprise. Like they should be the kind of plant that can disguise themselves and then take a person by surprise and kill them and eat them or whatever. So what ends up happening, because this is a film, is we don't fully explore this post-apocalyptic scenario where society has to face the fact that everyone is blind, and anyone who didn't look at the meteor shower or had their eyes protected is now in charge of caring for others. And is this going to wear off? How are we going to deal with this? But that's one thing. But then this whole other idea develops with these man-eating plants, and they move so slowly that basically they show these scenes where there's an entire field of them, and that's how they attack. So they surround small amounts of people, and that's how they attack. So it winds up making the story hokey. So I will say this. I really enjoyed this film. I did give it like a 7 out of 10. I do think it's worth watching, but I will say this, that a meteor shower bringing odd plants to Earth is a common theme in science fiction, especially classic science fiction. What does the meteor bring? And then it's also this idea that it's very common for everyone in a post-apocalyptic world, less sort of science fiction, more post-apocalyptic scenario, that everyone winds up being blind, right? Or everyone winds up being deaf, or something like that, right? And just the two of them, it's just too much for a film that is this short. I think that this is a beautiful novel. I will definitely be buying it, and I will definitely be reading it. But I just think the smoosh tries to make too much happen in one film. And now I'm going to turn it over to Captain. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine. Tell me, have you seen The Day of the Triffids? What did you think of it? Do you want to watch it? And also for you, Mark, what do you guys think of The Day of the Triffids?
Like I know it's broken record, but every week I say the same thing. Yes, I saw this movie way back in the 80s. It was one that I used to see, like all these different, the pictorial history of science fiction films and all these other books and pictures of it. So I finally watched it. It was good. I understand, and sure, Mitchell actually remembered it. I mean, mentioned it in the chat. I understand the BBC miniseries that was done later was pretty good, which talks about which kind of speaks to what you're talking about. They have more time to deal with the story. I don't know. I haven't seen that, but he says I hear that's good. I don't know. So yeah, I don't remember it. I don't remember it extremely well. I remember watching it and thinking it was good, but that's about all I got on it. Howard Keel. I've seen him in some stuff.
It is good, isn't it? But it's just it unfortunately just left me wanting more, because what it did is it attempted to marry two very popular themes.
Yeah.
And I just didn't have enough time to get through it all. But I mean, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it left me wanting
to
read the novel. How about you, Mark?
By the way, I didn't know Carol Ann Ford was in that till you told me that, Hungry Boy. I'd forgotten about that, but thank you. Sorry, go ahead, Mark.
Oh, no, I think the most important question is what tastes better, a tribble or a triffid?
A tribble.
I don't think they eat them.
What's the plants getting their revenge? As Phantom is saying, but I mean, you could think when you watch this movie, it's been a long time since I've seen it. Mike and I broken records of that one. I'm just skimming through. It's on you. It's on the tubes for free.
Yeah, we haven't watched a lot of those old movies in a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of campy, but it's more not campy in terms of in terms of a viewer today, I should say. Looking back at it, I don't think it was considered campy, per se back then. But now
that's a tough special effect to make even now.
Yeah,
and it's extremely gory and very believable. The gore in this movie is very believable, and it's got the gross out factor. It's really super gross.
In some ways, it reminds me of the kind of Doctor Who special effects, which are good a lot of time. So that's not a criticism, but it's that's what these creatures are like, and it kind of marries. It's that post-apocalyptic movie, so it's not The Walking Dead, but they said the 28 Days was the that horror movie that came out. Maybe 10 years ago, used this as an inspiration. So, it's I'm trying to remember, was this one of the first post-apocalyptic movies, or when it came out? Probably not, but it's a real scary scenario when you think about it. Everyone's, one of the lead characters, I guess he's in the hospital, so his eyes are bandaged overnight, so he didn't look at the satellites or whatever was, in the sky that blinded everyone. So you can imagine how the world would fall apart if most people are blinded. So
yeah,
it's it's a really scary, creep idea, and it's kind of somewhat like The Birds. The birds are surrounding you, and the Hitchcockian idea. So it's a great idea. Just the execution of the Triffids, like Mike Clobby's saying, is really tough to do, but it's a creepy,
practical
scary
effects
movie.
are great, but like let me just put it to you this way. Okay, so it's like the film, it has to be careful because of the year it came out, because of the subject matter, and because you don't want it to be too gory, and you don't want to ruin this really well-wrought novel, which I assume is a well-wrought novel. And so instead of focusing on how the Triffids would victimize blind people, and sort of the sighted people defending the blind people, we deal with these isolated pockets of survivors that are fully sighted, and how they deal with these creatures, like with these plants or whatever. And it's just so do you see what I mean? Like in a perfect world, when you're dealing with this idea of, okay, these plants come, the meters make everyone blind, and then the plants come in and eat everyone and take over the world, you have to focus on the decimation of the population, the wholesale slaughter of humanity. And instead we focus on the small group of people coming to grips with what's happening to them, and they keep going to these isolated places. We wind up like out on a rocky outcrop in Spain, or I believe it's Spain, and instead of dealing with what would happen in the chaos of a metropolis. So it's just, there's just not enough time to do what you have to do for this one. So I think this is like one of those like really good novels that's really hard to adapt into film. But when you see the film version, you're like, hey, they did a pretty good job because there's a lot to do there.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
sort of how I feel about this.
Hey, Neon Knight, good to see you, my friend.
Neon Knight.
Neon.
Yeah,
I
and
remember liking it when I saw it.
Yeah, well, it's
Yeah.
like Decepticon said. Surprised they haven't made a garish, big budget, CGI heavy, obnoxious summer movie thing out of this. Give them time,
Sean.
Give them time, buddy. Give them
Yeah,
time.
don't give him any ideas. Don't give him any ideas.
And he said he remembers the BBC series being especially creepy, and my dad wanted me to stop watching it. I was over when I was 5. Yeah, I've heard of the series, and I've never seen it. So anyway, how did you?
Yeah, definitely. If you were 5 or 6 years old, you definitely should not be watching
too young
this.
for this.
So,
yeah.
Okay.
Never want to go in the garden again.
We saw about this BBC series, so I can imagine this would be the same thing. So,
Yeah. This is a pretty scary thing, right? All right, so let's move on to the next one. Unless anyone has any.
No, go for it.
Okay. All right. So the next one
wow.
is I Married a Monster from Outer Space. And if you were listening to us as, oh, hello, Channel Surf.
Channel Surf, hey there.
Channel Surf, yep.
If you're listening to this like it's an old time radio hour or radio show, I have a lobby card, and it took me a while to find this lobby card. And it says, I Married a Monster from Outer Space, and it's all yellow, and the font is all in red. And then on the side, you can see it looks like they're inside of like an atrium or like a conservatory, but they're actually inside of a ship. And all 4 men are hanging, suspended by their necks, but they're not being choked. And they have an apparatus attached to them, lots of cords coming down. And then they have this electrical box in front of them. With a globe, with a light shining through a globe in front of them. So that's what the lobby card looks like. And it took me a while to find this lobby card. I do have to say that I think that the name of this movie is stupid.
Everyone does.
Okay. Everyone, just remember, I'm not a geek. But I think the name is terrible. It does this movie no justice whatsoever. I also hate all of the posters. I was just shocked before the show, preparing for this, to get a PDF together, and I was horrified by the terrible posters that were made for this beautiful film. It's actually, I'm disgusted by it. So I'm going to get into the description of this movie. I'm going to read from Wikipedia. I've never read this before. I don't know what it's going to say. Remember, folks, I'm just a nerd geekifying myself. Hello, Herc. Nice to see you.
Herc, what's up, buddy? By the way, that is legend. The stuff of legend. How bad a misleading title this movie is.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So I don't.
It's well known. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay. I Married a Monster from Outer Space is a 1958 American horror science fiction film. I wouldn't say it's a horror film. I'd say it's a pure science fiction film. From Paramount Pictures, produced and directed by Gene Fowler Jr., that stars Tom Tryon and Gloria Talbot. Paramount released the film as a double feature with The Blob. Oh, why? The Blob
is an awesome movie.
I know, but
fantastic.
I know, but still,
Steve McQueen.
I know, but this is a very serious film. Anyway, the film storyline.
What was The Blob?
Look, I remember The Blob the first time around. I didn't even watch this rewatch.
It's got Steve McQueen.
I know.
Yeah.
I remember that movie very well. The film's storyline concerns a young wife who begins to realize that her husband is not the man he was before they married. He has lost all real affection for her and for his new pet dog, which she gave him as a present. Thereafter, she quickly discovers that he is not the only man in town who appears to have changed. Now suspicious, she follows him one evening when he goes out for a walk and shockingly discovers that her husband is actually an alien humanoid. And I guess I don't have to read from the plot because that's a pretty good little synopsis there.
Yeah.
Okay. This movie has such an awful title that I feel like it was robbed of what it deserves. And whomever did the packaging for this, like the branding for this, should be taken out into the street and flogged.
I think they were. It was all over the news at the time. There were reports of it. Walter Cronkite, and, or no, maybe it was Walter Winchell. It was that far back, or Edward L. Murrow. They never mind. Go ahead.
No, I love this. Just geekify this, grand poobah, make it happen.
No, go ahead.
This movie is one of the most beautiful, complete, satisfying, intelligent science fiction films that you could watch. So it's not profound. It doesn't push the boundaries of anything. It doesn't leave you contemplating, existentialism, and it doesn't, answer any profound questions in the universe or in science fiction. No, it doesn't do any of that. What it does is it tells the perfect science fiction story, and it tells it perfectly. It doesn't leave any weird strings hanging. Nobody says, but what about this? It answers everything. All of the payoffs are beautiful. The visual effects are amazing. The film is just very clean. And I want to use the word sumptuous. Like just the colors and just the setups and just the sets and the way everything's filmed and the light. And it's so beautiful to watch. And it has, like, you won't even believe this is from 1958. And if you're listening as a radio show, you have to go and look at the photographs or watch this film, because you would not believe the practical effects that were used to impart the alienness of these creatures. I'm showing a picture of it right now. It's just absolutely sensational. They're inside of the human body, but they're on the ship, and they're using those spheres to project, to sort of understand how to project the human form onto their bodies. And wait until you see how they die. I'm not even going to tell you how they die, but just gross. They're horrifying. And
killed them.
The movie is not funny.
Starro Liz.
It's not campy. It's not silly. It's not unbelievable. It is literally the perfect science fiction film that is so satisfying and beautiful to watch. It blew me away. I did not want this one to be over. It is chef's kiss, gorgeous film. And that's all I have to say. I give it a 10 out of 10. And now I'm going to throw it over to the captain and to our marvelous chief of engineering. Tell me, guys, have you seen this? And what'd you think of it?
So first of all, firstly, Dave, what's up? Welcome, Dave. And Chris Longfellow, welcome.
Hello, Chris.
Good to see you both. Oh, yeah, it's been, again, broken records since the 70s or 80s, but this is a movie I remember reading about. I think it may have been, you remember Leonard Maltin's movie book of the 80s? Mark, did you ever used to buy that book about, had his movie listings, like of all the movies that were out?
No, I never bought it, but
it was a big, thick book. We used to buy it every year.
Was it like the top 1,000 movies or something?
It had every movie in existence at that point. It was listed, and it was like a paper, like a handheld, like smaller trade paperback, but it was very thick. And he would rate. It had his ratings. It was the go-to for movie geeks. All bought it and used to talk about and bitch about his ratings and different stuff. And I remember when I first read about it, I wasn't sure I'd seen the movie before. And I bought his book back in the early mid-'80s. I'm sure some of you out there bought Leonard Maltin's book back then. And I remember reading about this one. I don't know how I came across it. It says, I married a monster from outer space. I started laughing. And the first thing, and I've read it in other things since then, first thing he complained about, it had a lot of stars. He gave it his high rating. So this is really a good movie. It's one of the worst titles of a good movie you're ever going to see ever. And it was just, I read that. And of course, I got to see it, I guess, at some point at a friend's place, like in the 80s and stuff like that. So it's really good, of course. But I I would love to see it again, like all these things that Raquel's making me want to see all these old movies again. But yeah, it's definitely, that title is just a crime.
And also the marketing stuff. It makes it look campy and dumb, like it's like the fourth movie at the drive-in in the 1980s or the 1970s. It's such an injustice. I'm it's
sure
outrageous.
the director did not want a title of that movie. I'm sure he was against that. That was the studio suits that made him do that.
Yeah, they're trying to catch that that monster audience. So it's just and that I Married a Teenage Werewolf. I don't know when that one came out.
Well, that means I was a teenage. Yeah, I was a teenage werewolf.
This movie also has the guy from The Devil in the Dark in it.
That's right. The guy that played the administrator. What's his name?
I forget his name.
Yeah. He was in that.
Yeah,
the mining colony administrator. Yep.
And when I saw him, I just wow, and of course that's like HB and I at the same time when we're watching it, we're like, wow. Well, he knew already, but he was like, yeah. Anyways, it was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. Mark.
Yeah, so I don't remember if I've seen this one.
Oh God, you need to watch this.
Yeah, but I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna track it down, but it looks like.
Hey, monster kid.
Hey, monster kid.
That was a teenage zombie, yeah. But the effects look like very Twilight Zone from. That looks very Twilight Zone. That's from that you've got on the cover now from the one where everyone looks like monsters, but Marilyn Monroe was trying to the quote unquote pretty lady.
You mean Ellie Clampett, Donna Douglas?
Yes.
Yeah, Eye of the Beholder.
Eye of the Beholder, yeah, that looks very similar effects. I wonder if it's the same person, but
might have been
doing
William
the
Tuttle
special
or whatever
effects.
did the effects for Twilight Zone. I don't know.
What's crazy is that this is a very fleeting shot, so you don't get to hold on to this. I don't even know how the person caught this on film. Like, I don't know. Like they must have like a 4K monitor, and they did a splat shift 3 and just did a screen cap of it, and then maybe put it into Photoshop to hold the integrity of it.
We can actually go frame by frame on the computer software.
Well, I'm still stuck in the dark ages, and I know about the technology. I just can't afford it. But anyway, because this is a fleeting millisecond mark. There's no camp in this whatsoever. So you only get a glimpse of this as though it's whispering on his face, and then it's gone. And so it's quite scary. And it happens every time there's a lightning strike. And I'm not going to say why, because it'll ruin the movie. But every time the lightning strikes, that effect happens. And it's extremely fleeting. Very, very,
right.
Yeah. So it makes it even more believable.
Yeah, the effects are good. I'm watching one of the trailers as we talk about it, and the creature effects are really well done. The disintegrations look good, and and it probably ties into that Cold War. Well, the Cold War hasn't started yet, but or maybe it has. Yeah, in 58, I guess it's just one was Sputnik. So I guess the Cold War is probably in full swing here. So a lot of it's dealing with that idea of invasion of the others, and threats to the country, threats from outer space, and it's looks like a great movie. Yeah, so what a terrible title too, because it just screams camp. But from what you're saying about it, from just looking at the trailer, it's definitely not a campy movie. It looks
you'll be so proud to share this movie with anyone. No one would, not a normal person wouldn't even consider this title or consider any of the marketing for this film as reflective of what's actually happening on it. And Hungry Boy's bringing something up to help me here, so I just want to get to it before we get too far away from it. HB, thanks, honey. The cloud possession. The idea of the cloud possession. I was saying earlier that we don't make anything new for science fiction here. We tell a good science fiction story. I will say that the cloud possession part of it has a newness to it, even after all these years. It ages so well. The way that the body is accosted, the way the body is taken over, kidnapped, spirited away. I don't want to use the word spirit because it's like this most awful black possessive cloud. And I don't know how they filmed it, but I'll tell you, I would not want to have been the person who did the practical effects for that on set that day, because it looked like it could just collapse your lungs. It was just so thick and so black. I can't imagine what they must have put in the fire to make it like that. So the possession is just unbelievable. It's amazing to watch. Anyway, sorry.
Cardinal Sin, thank you for the 499 super chat, buddy. Says this is a great film for those of us who are solipsists. Is that how you say it?
Okay.
Big words there.
There's a word there for you.
Okay.
Thank you, bud. By the way, hello, Keely Chow, Roll Tide, and hello, Max Redstone, buddy. What's up? And good night, J-Man. Great to have you here, buddy.
J-Man!
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you, Gil.
Does that mean you have to take a shower after just if you're south?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to know.
I don't know what that word means. So we've got the grammar police here, so maybe they know. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it just like basically infers that you know, that you only believe in your own existence. Do you know what I mean?
So
Gotcha.
you're a soul. No one else exists except you, and everyone's living in my
like self-absorption or like like ignorance to how other people feel, or that their feelings even exist.
Oh, well, yeah, like Cardi, that's what Mark said. He thought it looked sort of like the makeup from Eye of the Beholder from Twilight Zone also. And yeah, I can see where it sort of looks like that a little bit. Yeah. So number one, no, good choice. I mean, again, another one we need to chalk up to. We ought to go. We got to watch it again one day.
Yeah. So just, as I draw the segment to a close, I'll just show these beautiful images again, because I love these lobby cards. I love real art.
That's great.
I'm sorry, I don't want to insult anyone who works in you know, CGI and stuff like that, but I really love practical stuff. I love beautiful art created by hands. So I love this. I think it's just beautiful. Here's a lovely photograph. Another one of these beautiful lobby cards. I absolutely love them. This marvelous image of what it's like to be possessed by one of these creatures as it projects the human form onto its own form. And here we have it happening on the front porch. So just absolutely beautiful. I cannot speak highly enough. I think the Day of the Triffids, I would say watch it, but when you watch it, you will be overcome by this idea that you should have read the book instead. And then if you read the book and then watch this, I think you would be more satisfied with the process. But I Married a Monster from Outer Space is just absolutely a beautiful, smart, gorgeous thing to look at. It is beautiful science fiction. Please do not be turned off by the absolutely comically bad, like hysterically bad name and horrible marketing. I don't know who did this, but they should be flogged. I don't advocate violence, but I'm going to say that a flogging needs to happen here.
Do we know if the movie was successful? And I'm checking the Wikipedia.
Could you check for me?
I don't know.
I'm looking at it. Would cost $125,000 to make. They're saying the budget.
That's up there. That's expensive back then.
Yeah, they didn't track all these movies, but
you don't have to take a shower because you don't exist. It's true. I don't exist, but I've a good authority, Cardinal Sin, that you might actually exist. I know what Cal and Mark do. Let's see, in the chat, some of our people in the chat actually do exist. I happen to know that Eric K exists. I'm skeptical about Phantom Outsider. I don't think he exists, but I'm just saying.
The Phantom?
Could be. Maybe just not just a clever name. I'm glad Lisa exists, and I know Michael Beacon probably exists. I'm gonna go with him on that, but there are people here who do and who don't.
I think Cardi is trying to get to this idea that that many people find the sort of idea of the Matrix appealing, that we would be the ones inhabiting those little spheres in the puck on the floor. and there we are hanging by our shackles as an alien uses our form to fit in. I guess that's what he's trying to get at. But yeah, Cardi has Lisa, I exist.
Hey.
And Rod Thunderheart's here. Hello.
Rod Thunderheart, what's up, buddy? The Comic Rules Crusader. I'm sorry, dude. I got you on the shows here that you don't in fact exist. I'm sorry. I'm checking. Look, I've just reported them as I see my Googled. There's a special Google. Hey, Rob Altus.
Rob's here.
There's a special that only I have access to that no one else could Google but me, and it tells me who exists and who doesn't. For example, I don't exist, but neither do you. So
Cardi sent
Mark
you the
does.
gift.
Cardi does not exist, so this gift won't really happen. Raquel should see John Carpenter's Children of the Damned. See, proof that he doesn't exist, because he wouldn't want you to watch that movie.
Yeah, I don't watch horror films. I don't like horror films.
Yes.
I love gothic horror, but I don't like any horror films. I don't know how to express it better than Clobby expresses it. What does Clobby say? I'm going to paraphrase him now. This is not verbatim, but something along the lines of, am I the kind of guy who likes to watch movies about teenagers running around and getting killed? No, I'm not.
No.
Am I into dead teenager gore movies? No, I'm not. So I love his description of it. Horror does not appeal to me at all. If there's any type of violence, I can excuse it if there's like some sort of huge story about overcoming evil, and then I'll tolerate it. But just gore for gore's sake, I'm not into.
No, I'm with you. Rob Altus, before we just want to show you, I showed this earlier, and I'm glad you popped in. Just came in from Big Bad Toys, the prisoner figure that Garrett K had me order way back in September. So just the Checkmate figure, love Checkmate, one of my favorite episodes. So, and thanks to you for alerting. Thank you, sir, for alerting us to these. Being out at the time way back in September, appreciate you, sir. Hail Rob Altus. So anyway, where were we besides the fact that we're learning who exists and who doesn't?
Yeah, well, I'm at the end of my film segment, but I did have a little bit of something else that I wanted to show.
Of course, we got a special treat for you all, everybody.
Well, I just want to say too, I just on this movie that I Was a Teenage Werewolf was directed by Fowler as well. So we're joking about that, but yeah, he was the same director, and yeah, it's a shame this movie was titled like that. And I guess it didn't do as well because it was, one of the reviews was saying, because it wasn't in color, it was in black and white. So people like the Blob more because of the the colorful monster versus this more somber entry. But yeah, I gotta check this one out. Yeah,
that's actually really sad, because I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna put this out there, and I'm just gonna say this. I think that if I were to sit meaningful people in front of this film, and they didn't see any of the marketing and didn't know the name of this stupid title, I believe that this film would rank in the top science fiction films ever made, especially for 1958. It is absolutely mind-blowingly good and so satisfying. Like it satisfies every nook and cranny that a true science fiction, hard science fiction person would ever want to watch. It's just so perfect. It gets everything right. It doesn't leave anything. And the payoffs are just so good. Yeah. Anyway, it's a good one. It's a gooder, as we say in Canada.
Thank you for another super chat there, $4.99 for Cardi. You shouldn't have, but he says, I do exist. Damn it, I do, and I can prove it. I'm going to hold my breath and stomp my feet and show that I exist. Oh, sorry, different. That's not what it said. Children of the Damned is not a Children of the Horror is not a damned movie. I'm sorry, Children of the Damned is not a damned movie. I mean, Children of the Damned is not a horror movie. It's a science fiction film, specifically a remake of the book of the same name. Also, I think it means the movie of the same name because there's an old movie. Also by John Wyndham. Because yes, there was an old movie. Then there was a movie. Wasn't Christopher Reeve in the John Carpenter remake there, Cardi, if I'm remembering correctly?
I don't know.
Anyway, so he says it's not. It is a science fiction film, which I think. I don't disagree. I mean, I just never saw it, but I don't like John Carpenter, so you never know. You might like it. Cardi knows the science fiction movie.
I don't know that that sort of thing. I mean, I love science fiction, but I spent most of my life working and it being in school. So my forte is like things like Dante's Inferno or Don Quixote or the books you study, the classics, the Odyssey, the Iliad, things like that. So I do need to read a lot more science fiction books. I do. I'm not the most well-read person when it comes to science fiction, and I definitely haven't watched a lot of films. I'm just a nerd. I don't claim any expertise here.
There's an older film called Children of the Damned that was from it was 50s or 60s, wasn't it, Cardi, I believe? And then it was the remake in the 90s. Yes, with Christopher Reeve. Thank you, Neon. And this Michael Bacon backs it up. He says, yes, Reeve was in it, and yes, it is science fiction in the style of Quatermass, at least the original was. I don't think I've seen the remake there, Cardi, but there you go. It's got Christopher Reeve, so
nifty.
That's one good thing.
And did you know that it's Rod Thunderheart's birthday in 3 hours?
Oh my goodness! Happy
birthday!
So happy birthday!
Happy birthday, sweetheart!
Now, by the way, I happen to have it on good authority, folks, that Rod Thunderheart does exist. So tonight we are debating existence, and I decided that as Bobby at least while this show is on the air, I decide who exists and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Hail Lisa. Oh, hail everybody. He's hailing everybody, says Cardinal Sin. Yeah, buddy. Thank you, Cardi. Appreciate you, man. But no, Cardi, that's a good recommendation because I don't think I've seen the original Children of the Damned in a long ass time, but I don't think I ever got to see the original. I mean, the remake either.
Talk about another a poorly named movie. Like I would never see a movie like that, judging by the title, right?
Village of the Damned, then Children of the Damned. That's right.
Yeah.
60, then Children of the Damned. Saw both, says Hungry Boy. Maybe he could let you know what they're all about.
Yeah, it's a bad title. Yeah, it's a shocking title, I guess, but it's that's why it's sometimes good to watch a trailer too. Although some of the trailers give away too much, but then you get a feel for what you might think that's a vampire movie, by that title, or or something with demons or devils, or
Lisa,
Village of the Damned.
I really loved the Foundation series. I thought the Foundation series was really, really good. That's one that I own, and I'm very happy that I bought the trade back of it. Because those trade backs, they're bigger, they're nicer to read, I highly recommend the Foundation series if you're going to go the Isaac Asimov route. I think it's his best work.
Indeed, it's this. Well, everyone, Raquel's got a big surprise for everybody.
Well, I was going to ask Mark if he wouldn't mind showing it from my YouTube. I made a video. It's only a minute long, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, tell everyone what you got. Pop Culture Republic, welcome. Tell everybody what you got for us.
Pop. So nice to see you, my friend.
Yes.
Okay, so I did the Ilea probe.
Cosplay.
I did the cosplay.
You didn't do Ilea, you did the probe.
Yes. Because the Ilea probe I found would be easier to do. So I did it. And I had a lot of fun doing it, designing the neck light with my husband, who machined a case for the exterior of the light, and I had to order the light special from Japan, and just putting together the whole costume. The shoes were a little high. I had the shoes custom made. They're a little high, but I had a great time with it, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. I used a Wuchi cap, and I used Ben Nye products to do the ball cap. And it was a lot of work because, as you all know, I have super thick waist length red hair. So, I mean, it was something fun. And
Yeah, how does that work? I mean, that can't be easy.
no,
Yeah.
and as you guys well know, because you guys were speaking to me the night after my husband took all the pictures of it. It took me maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours to get all of the glue out of my hair. I didn't use spirit gum this time around. I used another Ben Nye product that is an adhesive. And man, it was hard to get out of my hairline. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet. This is my ILEA probe.
Okay. Cue Ilea.
Sean Carter, thank you for that. We'll get it in a second. Wow. Amazing. Incredible.
Well done.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Wow. Yes, indeed.
Did you find any Decker units later, or
Well, I don't
any
know if
Decker units at the con?
No, but it was a heck of a lot of fun to do. I am a little embarrassed because I did
Looked great.
make the robe a little too big, and the robe has to be brought in quite a bit. It's about 3 sizes too big for me. But I think I covered it up pretty good in the photographs, and I had a lot of fun doing it. Super fun, but I will say it is the most uncomfortable cosplay I have ever done,
really?
due to what happened with my hair.
Oh my goodness.
Because of the skull, like wearing that skull cap must be uncomfortable too, right? I mean,
Yeah, it is. It was extremely uncomfortable. And I was actually really surprised. You know, one thing that I didn't plan on was that the probe light, I was going to use Ben Nye spirit gum to put it on my neck. And I had to have my husband put it on because I wanted it to make sure that it was in the middle. But I just, at that point, I had so much adhesive all over my hairline. And then I had a flap in the back to cover up my ponytail, which I had braided. I felt like I was suffocating. So I asked my husband to get me my tape that I use for when I'm wearing a low cut shirt. And we actually used the 2-way tape from that, which is skin tape, on the probe light, and it worked perfectly. It hung on perfectly.
Without gluing it.
Without gluing it, because at that point, Mark, I felt like I had been like I just had glue everywhere.
Been crazy glued.
Yeah, and then I also had to wear fake nails, and I wanted to make sure that they were the exact color that Parasis wore. So I got the exact color, and so I had those on at the same time. So I've got the fake glue on my nails, which I don't usually wear. I've got the adhesive on the flap. I've got it all around my hairline. It was the most like. What's worse is the heels, I think they're about 6 inches. They're that high. And so like, doing that at a con all day would have been brutal. But it's done.
So how did you do were there any cosplay contests there, or
No, this one was just purely because I wanted to get it out of the way. I had purchased a Wuchi, and I didn't want the Wuchi to get crispy. Wuchi is from FX in the United States, and so I had to order it in. It's around, I think, $36 for the Wuchi with a flap. And so it's like movie quality stuff, but you don't want it to get crispy.
What's a Wuchi?
A Wuchi is a type of ball cap.
Oh, okay.
And so you don't want it to get crispy. So you have to use it in a
Use it.
certain.
Oh, okay. Otherwise, it dries up and it doesn't. Yeah, it just doesn't
It
work.
doesn't look as nice and it starts to discolor. So I really needed to get this one done, and I think it turned out okay. I would like to say
That's
that there
great.
were some
Oh,
people who
great.
implied that I used a face swap app. I would just like you to look very closely at the pictures, and you can definitely see that I'm still wearing my anniversary necklace on my neck, and my Irish harp on my neck, and that's my body. I mean, thanks. I mean, I suppose that's flattering and stuff, but it's
No.
It's not a body double.
it's
It's-
not a body double. Jeez, guys.
I just want to thank you, Sean Carter, for the $5 super chat. He says, Raquel, I'm glad you specified it's the neck ILEA probe and not the Decker probe. The Decker probe is NSFW. Thank you so much, Sean.
Not safe for
appreciate-
work.
yeah.
That's the acronym. So,
Yeah.
and then I was messing around afterwards, and I thought that this would be fun. So I made these, and to tell you the truth, everyone, I totally made these for Clubby. Now I don't have Photoshop. I can't afford it right now, but I did go onto a website where I could actually just swap it out. And so I swapped it out. It is actually my body. Please don't say dumb stuff. Anyways, this one's for Clubby and Mark.
First one, Masters Maniac Mexico is here. Good to see you, my friend. I hope you were doing well. It gives me hope every time I see you. I hope you're doing well. Good to see you, buddy. Hello, DJ Ronnie G. Welcome. So
DJ Ronnie G.
You got a lot of people saying very nice things. I've saved a few of them there.
Thank
so
you,
go ahead. There it
everyone.
is. That's great.
You ruined my sick bay. Now it's gonna take me a lot of work to fix that door. The wall. Where there was no door. That was a great scene. It looks great. Yeah, when that's when the probe she can hear everyone talking.
Yeah.
In the other compartment, she breaks through.
I can definitely see why Gene said, "I'll give you $1 million insurance policy to make sure that if your hair doesn't grow back, that you'll be fairly compensated, because you can have spontaneous alopecia from shaving your head. It is a possibility, right?"
Wow.
And
what do you think it would have looked like if they did a skull cap if she cut her hair short but not all the way down?
I think it would look a lot like mine looks right now, and it's not perfect. And if I had Photoshop,
especially on the big screen, yeah, with it looks great, I think, but you can see the color difference. Obviously,
you can see the color difference.
Look, I mean, it's minor nitpick, but I guess on the big screen with the film like that,
yeah. And there is another skull cap that is above the Wuchi that is used on film sets. And it is for people who are also wearing a net underneath and have very short hair, or it's gelled down really tight.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I could not use that one though, because those ones are actually
so much hair,
so thin. Yeah, that's exactly it, Mark. That's exactly it. So I can definitely see, like everyone says, "Oh, why did Paris just do that for shock?" No, she didn't do it for shock. I mean, if I had Photoshop, I would fix this, but you can very clearly tell that I'm wearing a cap, and it's sad, but that's the nature of it.
I can't really, unless you really look, I can't tell. I mean,
I can't tell.
I'm just happy that my toes look good.
No, it looks great.
Because standing in those super high plastic shoes that are not even there, like the clear ones, I was worried that my feet wouldn't look good, and then I did this one.
Nice.
That's the rec room, right?
Yeah, rec room. Excellent.
That was a great scene. That whole
Nicely
movie,
done.
Thank you. So that's it, guys.
How long did it take to get into that getup?
It took me about a year or 2 years to plan it.
Okay.
And then to do the skull cap, it only takes me 15 minutes to do my makeup. I'm not like a heavy makeup person. Just usually wear eye makeup and lipstick. So I did that maybe 15 minutes, and then the skull cap, it took about 2 hours.
Wow, 2 hours to get that on. Wow.
All right, Max. I hope you feel better, buddy. Sorry you're not feeling well, but feel better soon, my friend.
Feel better,
Maximum
Max,
Redstone.
Yep. Maximum.
But I renamed you Maximum Limerick. Can I just do it for you?
Maximum
Limerick.
Yeah, indeed. Oh my good. Hope you feel better, brother.
I feel better. And then you wore it, so you took about 2 hours to get, or say 2.5 hours.
Yep.
To get to get everything. And then you got to go to the con, and then you stayed, just for a couple hours like this, or you stayed,
No, actually, I didn't even go to the con. I did the photo shoot with my husband. My husband took the pictures. My husband isn't a photographer. He just took the pictures with his phone. And then we just got them. I just put them into the iMovie.
Okay, no, I was just wondering. So you didn't go to a con, or unfortunately,
no, this
people
was
would have
really
gone crazy seeing you dressed like this.
So
I think
sweet of you to
They would
say.
have. No,
yeah, they would have. Yeah,
Minimus.
because weren't you at a con that weekend, or was it the week before?
This is just.
Oh,
about
you're going
me.
You're going to. Okay.
This was just about me wanting to make sure that I used my Wuchi before it got crusty and crispy and gross. Because when you're buying these skull caps, that's one thing that people should know for cosplay, is that in order to make these kinds of things work, you should always make sure that they're quite fresh. You don't want to leave these sitting on a shelf for a really long time. They discolor, they get crispy. It's not enjoyable. So I just thought, I have all this product. I have to move this product. It's only shelf stable for 12 months, like my Ben Nye stuff. So I just decided to make it happen. Oh, and I did use Ben Nye makeup as well, everyone, to blend the cap, just so you know.
That looks great, yeah. But they need to come up with a better name than Wuchi.
Yeah.
That's so good of a name.
I think it's owned by the FX company, and Wuchi might actually be
like a trademark name or something.
Yeah, I think it might be the inventor, but I don't know. I don't know, but I think it could be the surname of the person who was the makeup artist who invented.
So they just call, like Kleenex, so they just call it that. Yeah,
that's right. And so, like, when you're shopping for things, like if you wanted to do the Ilea, that's why I'm just naming it instead of saying a skull cap, because when I've done other streams with cosplay, people have said, oh, like, I know that you are a makeup artist, you're a licensed makeup artist, and you do this stuff. What do I buy? What do I buy? That's why I just let them know this right off the hop. This is a Wuchi. You can get it from the FX company in the United States. It's around $36 for this cap. And this cap has the flap. I know all of this sounds like it's filled with double entendre. Please try and act like grown-ups, everyone. But
yeah, come on.
That flap is essential for women who have long hair. So
gotcha.
I wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah. Minimus is here.
Minimus. And did you see the beautiful things he said? Minimus, you're such a good friend. I love you. And he's a tough guy too. He doesn't usually say stuff like that, so it means a lot to me. I love you, Minimus.
Nice. You saying he said something nice? I don't think so.
He's a doll. Minimus. So that's it, guys. That's my presentation for this week. I hope that you enjoyed it. I certainly had fun doing it, and I hope you enjoy the Ilea. I know it's not perfect.
It's great. It is fantastic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And that's it.
Yeah, if you didn't think it was, wow. I mean, I'd like to see one of your bad cosplays.
Well, Mark, I spent a lot of time trying to tuck in that front. Like the robe, I need to take it in. The robe is ridiculous. Like, I don't know what I was thinking. Like a lot of the time I have to worry about my chest fitting into something, but this time I totally overdid it. Like, I need to sculpt the bottom of it down because it's just way too big. And so
now can you buy that costume, or you had to buy a pattern then sew it, or how?
Yeah. And so it needs to be taken in by
pattern,
by like 3 sizes. By like 3 sizes, Mark. It's
no, but I'm saying, so you actually sewed that costume yourself? That's my question. Or
yeah.
Wow, impressive. So even more impressive. So you buy that, you can buy the pattern, I guess, because I've seen costume patterns on the interwebs, and so you actually have to cut all the material. My mom used to make clothes. My grandmother and great grandmother. It's people still do it, but not as many, obviously. Back in the day, you had home ec classes, and people would learn to sew and design things. That was really popular in the 70s. Well, quick aside, we went to visit friends in Europe, and my mom had made bicycle pants, or red pants. The whole family was decked out in them, and they looked so ridiculous with like 10-speed bikes on them. And everywhere they went, the people were saying, "Look at those stupid Americans! How stupid they look in these pants." And my dad could understand everything. We couldn't. You know, they assumed he could understand. So got home, he's like, "We're never wearing these again." But my mom, God bless my mom, saved money. She was making clothes for us. So
Oh, that's amazing.
that-
Yeah,
that's good.
I'm not an expert seamstress by any stretch of the imagination. I do have an offspring, and I made my fair share of fairy costumes and wings and things like that. The thing is that this is a robe.
Yeah. Oh, it looks great. I don't think it looks that.
It's not
too
a
big,
robe is not hard to make.
Yeah.
Most people could make a robe quite easily. There's no way that I could make the Ilea outfit. There's no way I could.
Oh, the original. Yeah, the
The
original
outfit?
yeah.
No, I can just do the probe,
Yeah.
but I can't do the outfit. I would have to buy that, and then I would have to have it sized and things like that.
Yeah. No, I think it looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, but
And the
this
probe
one,
is actually the cooler. Yeah, that's
it's too big. It's
Yeah.
massively, like, it's way too big, and I need to fix it. But it'll be better next time. I'll do better on the cap. I'll do better on the bald cap, and I'll do better on the robe. And definitely, I did not make the shoes. I don't make shoes, but I cannot believe how high they are. Why did I order them this high? I mean, they're sexy, and then there's, wow, I can't walk.
I can't walk. Yeah.
And
How high were her shoes in the?
I think they were actually pretty low. I think they were actually like clear kittens, and I did clear like platform stilettos.
Oh, okay.
Well, not stilettos. They're it's a bit of a chunky heel, but I would like to thank my husband for machining the exterior of that light that we made together, and he did a really good job, and he was really patient, and I showed him 10 million pictures as we designed it together, and it's quite easy to make. And if anybody wants to know how I did it or needs some tips for how to do it, don't be shy. You can go ahead and get a hold of me, and I can tell you exactly how I made it and where I got the light from, and how we machined it. It was a lot of fun. So
You should
that's
have
it.
gotten your hubby a Decker uniform. That'd been so
No, he
cool to
doesn't
be-
like the Decker unit.
Well, I know, or maybe Kirk. He could have been Kirk.
He always does I told you, whenever we go to the con, he always does the professor, the archaeologist professor
Oh, okay.
with the dog Snowy. What's his name again? It's a cartoon. Tintin. He always does Tintin. And he does like super relaxed Tintin. So he's just like
Okay.
wearing
I love
the
Tintin. Yep.
pants and the blue sweater and all that, and he has perfect Tintin hair, like he was born with Tintin hair. And
Tintin's awesome. Yeah.
and it's so everyone wants to take a picture with him. He's the most popular person at the con. No one even looks at me. It doesn't matter even if I'm dressed like in the Maverick or
I know about that.
no, I swear, you need to see this. You will see it in real life one day. They just flock to him. They're like, Tintin, that's so cool. And they'll walk over to him, and he's gotten so into it now that he says things to people like, Snowy passed away. I think it's Snowy. I think that's the dog's name.
Yeah, Snowy's the dog. Yeah.
But I was going to get him a
That
little
movie
Snowy.
was so good too. I love that Adventures of Tintin. God, I love that movie. That was great. Oh,
Yeah.
I got so many Tintin books as a kid, and yeah, it's just a great. Back then that was one of the quote unquote, I want to call it almost a superhero type type series, and I'd get all the books and read about him, and I love the one where he goes to they land on the moon. He had some space adventures, and it just was so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far I guess we haven't gotten a sequel to that movie. Would have liked to have seen it, but have you seen that one, Clobbering Times or
Tintin?
Raquel? The movie that came out, the CGI
No, I never
movie.
got to see that. Never got to see
Yeah,
it.
I love that. Yeah, great spirits. It's kind of part Indiana Jones. You can see Indiana Jones pulls a little bit from that. Not the whole theme, of course, but just the adventures, and that I can see why the kids that grew up watching movie serials, why they would love Tintin so much. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a few more movies someday or some cartoons. That would be fun.
Yeah. Yep. Well, that is some fine costuming there.
Well, thank you
Cosplaying
so
there.
much.
Wonderful.
It was a lot of fun to do, and I have another cosplay coming up really, really soon. And it involved some 3D printing by some engineers.
Oh,
And
wowzers.
I had an engineering team very generously
Wow.
get to work on it. And they did a beautiful job. Shout out to Volant, the company Volant. They use their 3D printer to print an authentic item for me with an additional authentic item that not most people don't even realize is a part of this costume. And I have the original costume photographs from a book, and I'm working off of them. And the next one is going to be a lot of fun.
Wow.
Indeed.
Pretty cool. Yep.
Nice. Excellent. Indeed. Well, that's just, I bet everyone enjoyed that. I mean, what's that? Clobby would be a good Captain Haddock. Okay. I don't know who that is, do I?
Tintin. Yep.
So Tintin, I've never watched it.
Yeah.
Neither have I.
Or read it. So
I think you guys would like it. Not that you should watch it, but I think you might.
No,
enjoy
I
it.
would.
I'm biased though.
Never
Yeah.
avoided it or anything. Didn't
It's a
Spielberg
great
make
comic
that?
too. Yeah, it's a Spielberg movie, but the comics are so good. That's probably one of the first comic I read as a kid was my
Tintin?
grandmother giving me books. You know, as a little
It wasn't
kid because
big
I was
over
so
here. We didn't have them over here much.
yeah, because this was
Different book.
Switzerland, the French speaking
Yeah.
part of Switzerland. So
Right.
she would
It was
bring
huge
me
over there.
books.
Yeah.
Oh, it was massive. Yeah, my dad loved them too. So that was a big, and then you'd she'd give me the books, and it was so. And God, as a kid, I mean, you open up a comic book. How cool is that, right? And it's a
Yeah.
big. I still have them. They're big, big,
Yeah.
pretty
Seen
big pages. So
I
a lot
don't
of
think my
fun, yeah.
husband's ever watched or read Tintin either. I think it was actually the fact that people were always walking up to him saying, "You look like Tintin with a beard."
Okay.
And so he was just like, he went and looked at the pictures, and he was like, okay, well, what can I do where I won't roast to death at the con with my wife? And so he just decided to just do the Tintin. But people were already walking up to him going, hey, dude, you look like Tintin with
you
a
should watch it.
beard.
Awesome.
You should watch the movie.
Yeah. Anyway.
There you go. Coolness. Well, that's excellent. Great
That's
stuff.
okay. But I did have fun doing it, and I'm glad everyone enjoyed it.
No, yeah, absolutely. Thank you all so much for that. That was incredible. I guess Mark's now the next up we got Mark's cosplay. He's going to show you. He cosplayed Mikey Spock.
Like
Yeah,
for real?
No. No, I definitely did not. I definitely not do. I would like an Iron Man type suit though that Mikey's back.
Oh yeah, like that Iron Man suit. She her Iron Man suit.
Those new filth uniforms are disgusting.
They
They're
are
not
that.
good,
Oh. Yeah.
But I do have a couple things to show. Maybe I'll grab
What
my
you
in
got?
a second too. I'll grab my one of my Tintin books. It's on the
What
shelf.
you
Let's
got?
show what I got today. Here, let me.
What you got? See?
Well, here I just did a short before the show started, so let's not share screen, Mark. Turn on the camera. Oh,
turn on the camera.
Screen sharing was canceled. I know screen sharing was canceled. Sure. Stop cam. Let's see. It's not. Oh, the camera's off.
Masters Maniac.
Maybe turn the camera. Turn the camera on. All right, here. Let's. Camera.
Hello, computer. Hello, camera.
Let me see. I'm gonna unplug it and plug it back in. I just redid my computer. Well, my computer died and I had to rebuild it, and the processor was bad. So first time using this. Plug it back in.
Oops, the engineer, folks.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yep.
He's
Let's
having
see,
trouble in
settings.
engineering.
Let's see. Here we go. Let's see if this.
All righty.
There we go.
There.
When in doubt,
Hey.
unplug it and plug it back in.
Oh my goodness! That came out. Oh,
Yep, that
I'm
came
not
out,
supposed to
yep.
buy those figures. I have a moratorium on them. Thanks a lot, enabler.
Thanks a lot, Enabler.
Man,
yeah, that.
You
Sorry,
are,
yeah,
dude.
So that one, yeah, this. Well, I did a video on the Surfer, so this is a
Grumble, grumble.
grumble. Show the Surfer first. So here's the cool. This is Toy Biz from 1995.
That I have.
So you got that, right?
I got that.
You got that, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's make it full
Man.
screen.
Look at that Nova. Oh my God. That looks better than the I mean, it's tiny. I know it's tiny, but it looks better than the friggin' Walgreens exclusive. I mean, which is good, but do they have the star on its back like it's supposed to?
Well, I didn't open it up, but
No, you don't have to. I'll open mine if I find it.
So it was actually.
I'm gonna have to break the rule on that one.
Break the rule,
man, dude. FOMO alert.
So that was, Best Buy had a sale. I saw it on Twitter. Someone had, and I had retweeted it. Best Buy was having a sale, so I think it was like $5 or something pretty darn cheap. But so this is my Surfer. But this is a really cool. I gotta say.
Oh yeah,
it's very cool having this
big boy there.
The big Surfer. Yep.
I like those big Toy Biz ones. Yes, Michael Beacom. There were only 2 movies this week, right, Raquel?
Yes, there were. Yeah. It just the day of the Triffids and the unfortunately named I Married a Monster from Outer Space.
Retro Nerd Girl. Hey. Good to see you.
Hey, nice to see you.
Retro Nerd Girl.
Oh my good. I gotta have it. Gotta find
Isn't that cool box art?
Great box art. It's Nova, so you know I have to have it's real deal Nova. It's a tiny figure, but he's just the perfect colors, and I hope they got the star on his back on the back because the one they just came out with the Walgreens exclusive a couple of years ago is great now, but they don't have the star on the back. They better, the you know like they're supposed to. They better be on the back of this one. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna get it anyway. And I got a little card cutout thingy, huh?
Yeah, so you can cut the.
Oh man.
Which God, I would never do, but
they
back as a kid, I might.
It's not John Buscema art, but they approximated it pretty well. And not Sal either, by the way. Sal did most of the interiors, but John did the interior and the first couple covers. So, Minimus agrees that he wasn't here when you reviewed I Married a Monster from Outer Space a little while ago, but he agrees that it is excellent.
It is, isn't it? I enjoyed that so much.
Oh yes, Stuart, that is a Gorn next to Spider-Man. Yep. That's not. I'll show the Raquel's favorite Gorn, not that one. But yeah, the.
When'd you get this? You ordered it, or you found it at the store?
Best Buy.
Best Buy had it.
What?
Best Buy had it on sale for $5. They had a huge sale, so they had a bunch of figures on
really?
sale. I violated the action figure moratorium again. So I don't know if they had them. If they're still on sale, check BestBuy.com.
Oh, wow. Hey,
they had not all of them on sale, but they had a few of them. And of course, I saw the box art for this is card art is just phenomenal. So,
Brian Hepburn, really what's up? Good to see you, buddy. And no, you're not supposed to keep it on the card always. Not me.
Sometimes I buy 2. I used to open all my figures, but sometimes I like hanging them and to get have room in my office. So. It's nice to hang stuff
Firestar.
too. So. And of course,
that's a nice box art there too.
I love Firestar too. So.
Well, that's a costume I could do.
That's lovely.
Firestar is awesome. Yep.
Are you sure?
I just don't like to do stuff that I don't know, like about.
Yeah,
the
you don't want to do that one.
I don't want to be I don't want to be a poser. You know what I mean?
Well, you can watch the cartoons pretty quickly. You could start watching the Spider-Man and Amazing Friends.
But I don't watch cartoons.
But you could try. You don't have to. But if you did want a cosplayer, you could. They're half-hour cartoon, 22-minute cartoons. You could fly through these pretty quick. So.
Am I the only one that has your interest heart and doesn't want to make you watch stuff you don't want to watch?
I love you. That's
I
all I
didn't say you
have
had
to
to. I said if you did want to cosplay, the cartoons are short to watch. But it's
Yeah.
this is from Spider-Man and his amazing friends. So of course it was Firestar and Iceman, and
Yeah.
what was the dog's name?
I don't know. I hated the cartoon. I
It's
got a lot
not
of friends.
snowy.
I got a lot of friends who loved the cartoon, but when it came on, I didn't like it because He wasn't supposed to be living in the same weird gadget-ridden house as Iceman and some girl who wasn't even from the comics, Firestar. So it always bugged me. A lot of my friends grew up loving Spider-Man and his amazing friends, and that's I totally respect and understand that, and have nothing but goodwill towards it now. But at the time when it came on, I was 16, 17. I was like, wait a minute, why is Spider-Man living in a house with Iceman and Firestar, whoever she is? And it's not because she wasn't from the comics. So I got to admit,
now she's in the comics. Yeah.
Now she is, but it took years later.
See, I was 12, so it's a much different. 11 or 12, so it's a much different.
Big difference from back then. Yeah,
big difference.
She doesn't quite look as lovely.
She's pretty cute.
She's more lovely in the cartoon.
The art, she's very nice looking.
The art, I think she looks great, but the
figure's not supposed to look too sexy, I guess.
Yeah.
That's the problem, Well, she's pretty sexy. Sexy wexy, I guess. I don't know.
She's a sexy figure.
More, hopefully the wife is. Well, she'll never watch this, but yeah. Plus, you have a weakness for redheads, and you're in trouble too. So.
And you didn't even have your office window open today.
Well, Spidey, come on, Spidey.
I could tell that you did. I could tell that you didn't have your window open. You need to keep your window open.
Don't let in the light. And this, probably shouldn't have. I probably shouldn't have bought this. I thought this was I didn't pay close attention to it. I thought it was a retro Boba Fett figure, but it's Boba Fett from the Mandalorian. And as soon as I got it, I said, why does he have a skirt? I was like, oh man,
that is
like, oh man,
that doesn't look. Yeah, it's terrible.
That is terrible. All right, so it's not just me.
Yeah,
so I had some regret at this purchase. I should have bought another.
Yeah.
Marvel character, but I thought it was the original Boba. You're looking on the.
It was on sale at.
Yeah, it was on sale for $5. Yeah, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be
$5.
$5, and I was like,
$5, but
yeah, do you remember that, or is that just a Canadian thing? Do you guys remember that from
a Canadian thing?
Was that Pizza Hut?
No, it sounds familiar, but I'm not sure.
I think it was Pizza Hut in like the 1980s.
Oh,
you could get like the first pizza was regular price, and then after that, $5.
Yeah, I should have gotten Bo-Katan actually.
So who is this again? It's not Boba, is it?
Well, it is Boba Fett, but it's from the TV show. So
Morak.
Or is it the guy who stole Boba's costume?
It's from the show, but is it
Timothy?
It says Morak. It's from. Maybe it says Boba Fett there because it's from the show or something. But then it says retro on there. It's from the Mandalorian.
Well, they're doing a retro line that look like the original Star Wars figures.
He's a different dude. That's not Boba.
Someone will tell us in the chat who Morak is.
I watched the show and I don't remember who the hell he is.
Well, they did have Timothy Oliphant.
That's not him though.
Had Boba Fett's armor. Maybe that's. I can't remember.
Oh, it might be Morak. Oh, maybe that's him.
So if so, maybe it's not so bad then, because if Morak
he was kind of cool.
He was cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that's
So Brian says Boba with the first appearance of the repainted armor after getting the armor back. Yeah, because he did repaint. They repainted the armor. Yep.
Oliver Belamonte, what's happening?
Hey, Oliver.
So
he asks, "Do you have favorite Star Trek ensigns? Like Ensign Lang, Anna Jameson. I love Sito. If you mean Hoshi, I don't know. No, that's not. Is it Hoshi's last name Sito or something?
No, it's Sato.
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 Sito Jaxel. Almost cried when Captain Picard declared the instant Sito. Oh, killed from the Lower Decks episode. Yeah. Okay, yes, right. Sito.
She was good.
Sato. I love Hoshi Sato, but
that was the girl who tried to redeem herself.
Right. From
Yeah.
She was cool. She was good. I mean, Let's see, have favorites. I mean, I never really thought about my favorite Star Trek ensigns. Now that you mention it,
Ensign
certainly-
Kim.
That's Ensign Chekhov, but he's a he's just a Chekhov. He's such a Chekhov. This sucks right here, by the way. I hate to tell you this.
What's this?
This is a terrible Catwoman costume
Oh, gross.
from
This is
the
from
Batman.
Celia Kynal. Because I bought a bunch of the figures, so
I was smart.
complete the
When I
collection.
did Catwoman, I bought the licensed Catwoman stuff so that it would not offend any original gangsta Catwoman people from the original Batman show that I watched when I was young. And I think that was a very smart move on my part.
It was because Julie Newmar Catwoman's fantastic.
Yeah.
But this
Steve Mitchell and I both like this movie, so it was
I don't
on
like
sale
the
for
movie.
like $5. It was $5.
Well,
So
that's cheap. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, that's fine. I
it's
just
normally
I don't.
25,
She's
30.
a good-looking woman. What's her name? Kravitz, whatever. But and she's terrible. She's not great in the movie. I don't like the way they handle Catwoman, and that outfit's just kind of blah. I mean, it's nothing really stands out about her outfit as a Catwoman outfit. It's just it's a very boring Catwoman outfit, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I guess if you like the movie,
If
and
you
this
like
one
the
you're gonna
movie,
like
$5.
if you
Oh,
like
Lord.
you're gonna like this one even more.
Well, the thing is that
Ugh,
yeah.
Penguin.
The thing is that like when they change it from being something that is sexy, so sexy dangerous, and that's my impression of Catwoman. Catwoman is obsessed with cats and wants to look like a cat, so she wants her body to be sleek and sexy, and what better way to do that than with a cat suit? But the problem is that when in this modern take, they're making it look more like motorcycle wear. And so like no one she wouldn't be able to move in that, and it would be so hot. Like you guys always laugh when I talk about the boob window, but if I have to wear rubber or I have to wear a cosplay where I'm head to toe cat suit and it's a rubber suit or it's not like breathable material, you just die to have the boob window because it's the only place where you're getting air. And they continue to modernize these costumes, and they make them super thick, and they make them look as though there's some sort of like motocross padded protective outfit
stuff.
And it's just not realistic. No one could wear that for longer than 30 seconds without clawing it off their body. Clawing.
And the irony, it's ironic. They think it does look make a superhero look more realistic when it doesn't. It's just stupid. Everyone thought he was so good as the Penguin. He was boring to me.
You thought it was boring? See, I like the movie. I know Eric can't see the movie. It's horrible, but
it's just not the movie sucks, huh?
Who is that?
I don't know. I like the movie. I like the movie.
You can't recognize him in the movie, but Colin Farrell actually plays the Penguin.
Yeah.
They covered him in such makeup, no one could tell who he is.
And what Batman movie is that?
Called The Batman. That last one came out last year, a year ago now.
The soundtrack is phenomenal.
Here we are, just less than a year that it's released, and now the toys are $5. So there you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I figured I'd grab because what other figures do they? The motorcycle is so cool in this too. Like about the motorcycle. The motorcycles are all on sale now too. So a lot of people are using the motorcycles for other, people do dioramas and different displays and use with action figures. So a lot of people are snapping up the motorcycles to use, especially the Honda. They have the Honda CB that he rides, which was really, really cool.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Oliver Belamonte saying Zoe Kravitz is daughter of singer-songwriter Lenny Kravitz. Yes, but also the daughter of Lisa Bonet from the Cosby Show. Yeah,
that's right.
And I went to the grocery store the other day to get stuff to make chili for next weekend. And, why do they got to do this in the aisles? They got to have toys in the aisles.
Cal, it's horrible. Don't waste your time.
I won't. Love you, Eric.
What you got?
I rarely disagree with Eric K, but I like the movie. But I'd say Raquel would probably. I agree that Raquel would probably not like it. So, so this is one of the classic Hot Wheels.
What's this? What's it based on?
So this is one of the classic. It's called well, then and now. So it's it's called Twin Mill 3. So Twin Mill, and I have the original, is one of the classic Hot Wheel cars. The 2 engines on each side, and actually they had a Hot Wheels series where they actually made these cars. So let's see if it focuses.
Twin Mill 3, then and now. I can't read the words under, but that's what I could see.
Yeah.
That, yeah.
So I guess they picked 10 cars to do updates on, or kind of new versions. So of course you're going through
collected Hot Wheels in the 70s, in the 80s.
I should have pulled out my original one that's up there, but it's
Still got a lot of Hot Wheels.
I think I have most of mine when I was a kid. So probably
Finding
about
it hard to
100.
concentrate
Why?
because Restless Leg Spider-Man is still.
Oh, and I think Hungry Boy was going into lurk mode too. Did we mention that, or?
Oh no, I
but-
didn't even notice.
No, Michael Beacon
Yeah.
said he is, isn't he?
Or was it
Everybody's going.
Hungry Boy too?
Oh, love you, everyone.
I'm
Thank you.
away from a monitor, so it's
I
tough.
thought it was Michael that said that.
tough
but
to
okay.
see. I could
But
be
I didn't
wrong.
want to
Yeah.
interrupt. Michael Beacon
Here's
said that for
Spider-Man
sure.
going.
There we go. Much better.
There you go. So that's a
doesn't-
classic.
Well, for the record, it doesn't matter.
Larry's here.
Larry.
Larry!
Stop, Larry.
I shouted you out earlier. It's
You
nice
did.
to see you, wonderful human being.
Good to see you.
And someone mentioned the Gorn before, so this is the real Diamond Select Gorn, and this is the.
Gimme. Get that off there. Get that out of there.
Captain Finity says he's
Get
not
that
here.
away
Just
from the real guy.
for the record, Captain Finity is not here, everybody. He just wants to
Good.
make sure you know that. Although he does exist, though, because I've checked into it and he actually does exist.
Look at him.
Sorry,
Love him.
Cap. You exist, whether you like it or not.
Boss, can you please just do a little.
I do not like being on camera, and I will not be merciful to you. Stop throwing me, humans! Marty, I shall destroy you.
So perfect. So perfect. I just want to swear.
Go ahead.
Beautiful.
Welcome to CLOBBERIN times. It's my show. Welcome to Gornerin times, where I shall kill all the humans.
Oh, so cool.
Oh, now he's focused.
Does he have dust on him? He better not
No.
have dust on him, Mark.
Well, yeah, because he got
No,
blasted by
those are
Kurt.
scales. No,
He got
those are
Kurt-
scales.
Kurt threw it
The
all
skin
over him
flakes.
when he killed him, or hurt him, injured him. I mean, retro nerd girl. Yeah, Burgess Meredith is the king. Well,
Oh my gosh,
Whack,
I
whack,
love it. Love it.
thank you,
Well,
Dion.
this is how I have Darth Vader holds the brush, so that that's a 3D printed
I can't
pen
even-
holder, but I have him holding the brush, so
Thank you.
like that, so you can see.
I love Scotty.
That's one of the fun things you can do with a 3D printer, right? Print a Darth Vader pen holder, aka brush holder. So let me show. I've dug out my original Playmates phaser. So I'd done a review of the Playmates phaser this week. Finally, right, Raquel? You posted, yeah. So let me just.
Well, I
do
had
a
to
quick-
give you the gears because I was just really excited about it, and I knew a lot of people wanted to
You two,
see it. You know.
you two mind the store while I take medicine and stuff.
Okay, boss.
Okay. So I found my original Playmates phaser. So unfortunately, it doesn't work anymore. The battery compartment corroded. Don't ever leave your
Cool.
batteries in there. So I've got to change. I can change it out. I'm sure I got to change
Yeah.
out the battery terminals. One of the terminals rusted and snapped, or I can just solder maybe
Of course you can.
contact there. But she's
Engineers.
not working anymore. But the interesting thing was to compare
What?
the old and the new. Was look at the screw holes.
I know the
So
screw
I kind of
holes are
mentioned that in my
so
video.
bad.
So the trigger is much smaller in the old one,
Yeah.
and you kind of push it up. The new one, I have to say, the trigger is nicer. You pull the trigger trigger back like that.
Yeah.
Now the top is almost identical. Of course, I think the stickers on the old one are better. It seems like they're bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger stickers. So the old one is a little bit better in that respect. So you got the screws and the battery door just slides off like on the old one. The new one, it's the screwed in there.
Yeah.
And you turn it over to the other side. That's pretty much the same.
I like how Larry has the first question that I had when you brought these out. If your stage 1 phaser comes out of the stage 2 phaser.
No, so this is
doesn't.
And so the big difference is, if you watch, I'll post the link to the video in there. It's basically identical, and this had gotten chewed up somehow. Ooh, I don't know what happened there, how that happened, but someone was chewing on my phaser. Maybe it dropped in my old dog chewed. I don't know. I'll have to polish that up. But you can't turn. It's not as functional as the Diamond Select, and the only thing you can
Diamond
do here,
Select is the granddaddy of them all. It's just the best. It's the best. It's the best. Diamond Select makes the best replicas, makes the best props ever. I love them so much. I can't even deal with it.
So here's the Diamond Select again. We showed this last time, but
it's so
I forgot to
beautiful.
mention in my video the fins that come out the back. When you're doing a video,
Mark,
you forget. But
I have to interrupt you, honey. I'm sorry, but
Sure.
I have to. JD Lewis says it was a great show, gang, but I'm bushed and I'm headed to bed now. Good night, friends. See you soon. JD Lewis, we love you. Have a great night.
Good night, JD. Thanks for hanging with us. Yep. So yeah, so this is the Diamond Select is much more. Oops, dropped the battery cover. Much more realistic.
And it has the one too.
Yeah, so it has the one. Now you're not gonna like to hear that. Not gonna want to hear this story. So I was trick or treating with my kids one Halloween, and unfortunately, I dropped my phaser fell off in a leaf pile. My Diamond Select, the one with the blue and white handle, and we found the Type 1, but the Type 2 is gone forever. So I have this part left from the Diamond Select, and it doesn't work anymore. I just put batteries in. I gotta try to take it apart and see what's happening. But what's nice about with this Diamond Select, you've got obviously you got the phasers that phaser separates like it does on the TV show. So you can pull this out and just show that again. So then push the button on the bottom, and then
it's beautiful.
And you can change, and the dial on the top actually works. You can change. I've got my turn the crisp off here. Hold on. Turn the filter off. There we go. You might hear the background noises now, but so you can actually change.
Yeah, but it's the perfect sound. You change the intensity. Yeah.
Yeah. So you
have
can't
to have
do
the
that
stage.
on the new
You
one.
have to have the stage 1 and the stage 2. They have to go together. I mean, what if you have to warm up rocks?
Yeah, right. And of course, you got the self-destruct mode.
Yeah.
And the Diamond Select actually does have the self-destruct mode. It's really tough to trigger now on this one, so you gotta kind of push the button. Let's see if I get a.
I think that the battery housing is more discreet as well.
Oh yeah, because they that's why they did with calculator batteries or watch batteries, so it's much smaller.
Yeah.
Let's see, come on.
I mean, not that anyone would notice if it were holstered or if you were holding it, but I mean, I know, right? That's the bad thing.
Yeah.
It's just like the Playmates tricorder. It's good. It's just not as good as the Diamond Select.
Yeah, so like this, you can change the intensity
by
spinning this wheel on the top.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And then this.
And the lack of screw holes. The lack of screw holes really matters.
Yeah, it definitely does look better. I mean, I in my review I said definitely.
Your review was
buy the
excellent.
Playmates. Thank you. Buy the Playmates. It's the only game in town, and you want to support. If you're inclined to get it, I don't think you'll be greatly disappointed, but I can see why. the Diamond Select's not, so much better, but unfortunately, it's a lot of money now, and the Playmates, they cut a few corners.
$200
so the
in Canada. It's $200.
So this
Wow.
$200.
fitting the two, yeah, it's way too much money. Fitting the 2 AA batteries. That's why they made this handle so big.
Yeah.
So on the one hand, this probably is a little bit louder with the 2 AA batteries, and
But look at all the screw holes in the Playmates. There's way too many.
Well, the old one's not as bad, I have to say, though, right?
It's not.
But of course,
It's
you
almost
flip them
like
around.
it's almost
This
like you
side
would
is.
need plugs. Like, why not just have plugs for the screws?
You could do plugs, yeah. You could 3D print them. Or you can buy screw plugs too. But yeah, this side's not so bad. I guess if you're holstering on your right side, maybe that's why they did that. This is the left side. So if you're right, most people are righties. So if someone's looking at it that way, you'd never know. So they cut corners to make it cheaper, obviously. So
Yeah.
and of course, this battery cover keeps falling off. So I guess maybe it's not so bad to have it screw in. But yeah, so that's just an update on that, and want to
Beauty.
get more details, check it out,
And
then
watch that
there's
video,
also the
everyone.
link.
He does a really great breakdown of why he thinks that it's good to get because of the deal that it, like the price of it, and yeah, he just goes through the whole thing. Oh, Sean Carter from Mars is leaving. Good night, Sean Carter.
Good
Thank
night,
you so
Sean.
much for joining us.
Thank you, Sean.
Night, Sean. Thanks for hanging. So yeah, and here's the original box from this was in the review, but I dug this out of my storage unit. So here's the original box. I probably have two of these because I lost. Unfortunately, I lost one of them.
I'm probably gonna spend the $200. Like, why? But I have to.
Oh, Rob has the wand phaser. That's awesome. That's even better than the Diamond Select. The wand phaser.
That's too rich for my
remote
blood.
controlled TV one.
Get
How
out
much?
of town.
I think was that. I'm trying to remember. It was $150 when it came out. Look at this cool box art. But the wand, yeah, I almost bought it. Like, if my wife sees me changing the TV channels with a phaser, I'm gonna be on the couch forever. But then I would have had the phaser to change the channels. But
so that means you'll be fine.
yeah,
At least have that.
TV.
At least you'll have that.
So the cool box art. Of course, this is kind of evokes the motion picture, which is the way it should have been, I think, in that poster. And of course, you got the gang. But it's when these first came out, you didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, to buy it, and then it's always the thing, oh crud, I should have bought it, or I was lucky to get it. But and now here we've got I was digging these out. So we've got from
why is Chekhov's head so big compared to everyone else's?
So this,
I don't know.
and when Retro Blasters and we're talking about the new figures versus the old figures.
New ones? Yeah.
Yeah, so this was actually the line. They only made Kirk, Spock, and Khan. So here's the line together. So I found these in a box in my basement. So I'm gonna do a review comparing the new and the old figures. So here's
I like how you use earthquake putty to hold them down. It's so cool.
Yeah. Well, these guys also had stands. I got to find out where the stands are.
Or just print them.
Yeah, I can print them too. Yep.
Who's that? You just put on the side of Scotty. I can't see him.
That's McCoy from Next Gen.
Well, why isn't he in there? Why do we have two Scotties and no McCoy?
Well, we have old McCoy. Well, that was.
Oh, it's old
that
McCoy
was from
TNG. Okay.
TNG, yeah. So that's the two TNG.
And you have the two cons, and one con has the good hair, and one con has the bad hair.
Yeah. So my next one will be a review of this. So these figures are actually from Generations.
Generations, because they were together. Yeah.
But it's
they were in Generations. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's tactical. It's this, it's that era uniforms. So that's Michael French, Retro Blasting was pointing out how much bigger.
How weird these look.
The scale is off.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, so if you had them all together, but then if you scale these, it's kind of tough to tell until I put it
They look weird too. Their anatomy
They
looks
do look kinda
weird.
weird.
Their anatomy looks weird. What's going on with his crotch?
Yeah,
Ugh,
that's a problem. Yep.
It
that
looks
is not
weird.
good.
Like it looks like he's supposed to ride in on a horse, and people can't tell me that they don't notice that. And not canon.
So that's the old versus the new, and then the worst
What's
thing is
on
the
his
scale.
wrist? What's on his
The
wrist?
scale.
Is that a sweatband? Is he in Loverboy? I mean,
Well, that was he had the communicator.
Yeah,
no, I
that
don't mean on
wired
that
up
figure. I
communicator
mean on the
with
new one.
wrist.
It doesn't even look like. It doesn't even look like. Okay, it looks a little bit like the
A
communicator.
little bit.
But not really.
Yeah.
It looks like a sweatband. He looks like he's in Loverboy and like he's riding in on a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
So
the old one
that's-
better.
I like
Yeah,
the
the
old
old
one
one's
better.
better. And the scale is off too. See, so the new one's
Yeah.
smaller.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I dropped.
That
I
was
dropped
cool when
them.
my cloud
Con's
French dropped in
fallen.
to talk about that.
That's right.
So here's
Uh,
the Spock
looks
one.
alright.
but
Yeah,
let's-
what's wrong with his face? That doesn't even look remotely like Spock.
Well,
He's,
these figures were never that great. I mean, they're close, but they're not.
I know,
not
but
hot
the fact that you
toys.
like talking about the nitpicks, I find it like immensely satisfying. It's so cool that you want to do that because I enjoy that.
So here's the old Kirk versus the new Kirk.
yeah, he's smirking.
Can you pull back just a tiny bit, please?
Oh yeah, here, let me go.
Just
Here
a
we
tiny
go.
bit. Yeah, the face, like the old one's better, I think. What do you think, Mark?
I think it
Let's
is
see
too. That looks more like Shatner. The older one. This one looks like, I don't know if they're trying to make him a mix of you know what.
That's what I think.
I don't know.
I didn't want to say it out
He
loud,
looks
but
more like Shatner, the old one. in the
I
face.
do. I think so too.
Yeah.
And Anyway, I also like look at the Delta,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
right?
Delta's kind of weird.
Like everything on it's just like it's weird. And yeah, and I don't know.
What is that?
I don't
shape?
like it.
I'm not sure about that. I mean, did the old one there? It's got a black star in the middle of the Delta, though. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that, but I don't know. It's kind of
That's there. Yeah.
It's a little off though.
It's a little off.
Yeah, this face does look more Tiberius to
Like
me.
Shatner. The other one
That's
does
Bill.
not look like Kirk.
The other
The other
one,
one
I
looks
don't know.
Is that supposed to be Piss Pine?
No,
think-
no.
Or
Does
the
it look
new
like
guy?
they're
It's just a
trying to
bad
morph
sculpt. It's
the
just a
two
bad sculpt.
faces?
I don't know, man. He looks kind of
Well,
like
it's Spock looks pretty good, I have to say.
oh,
Relatively.
he's got a smirk. We're just nitpicking, but it's fun.
Yeah, he does.
He does have
have
a
smirk, yeah.
smirk. He needs
The
shin
problem is
kicks.
You can't display these side by side with the scale difference.
Well,
Whether
that's
that
what
was-
Retro was
problem.
saying, and I agree. It's
Yeah.
dumb. Who's this for if the scale's off?
Yeah.
So here's the scale difference. It's
Wow.
I gotta pop one of these open. I was just gonna keep them on the wall, but
Still
maybe
don't
I'll see one in
understand
the bargain bin.
that 40-year anniversary thingy. I don't understand why you have a SETI Alpha Yield. I know it's the 40th
I
anniversary,
don't
but it's
know.
kind of over
It's
the
weird.
Delta. It's kind of who made that decision?
I don't know. It's
weird, isn't
very
it?
On this
strange,
one or
No, on the look behind on the Delta shield on the side there, that on the box art.
Oh, look on the box.
on
It's
the
got
box
a
art.
SETI.
Oh,
the
yeah,
40-year thing.
Well, it's 40 years
got
of
the-
con, maybe.
Well, no, I know it's 40 years con. What I'm saying is, why would you put a SETI Alpha Eel over the Delta?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
that's
does
kinda
that
gross.
belong there?
I don't really think
Shock
that's
value.
a good idea.
Some graphic artist got paid
Some
a
wiener
lot to
thought
come
that
up
was
with
a
that.
cool idea, I guess.
DJ Ronnie G brought up something cool. He's like, I love how the belt is fighting his gut. You know what's funny, DJ Ronnie G?
That's
That
what
the
belts are for.
costumes for this were supposed to be more military style, and a lot of people were like complaining about the costumes, but there were several cast members in a few of the books that I've read about it that said that they were actually happy about the costumes because although they were hot, they didn't have to wear like Shatner used to wear a girdle and stuff like that. They didn't have to wear all of these undergarments, and these uniforms were a little more forgiving. So, and it's difficult to lose weight as you get older. So, I love that you
Tell
brought
me
that up.
about
And
it.
hey, look who's here!
Boosh McFadden.
Whoosh!
What's up, Boosh?
Hey, Boosh.
Welcome.
Yeah, so this is the trick to make your fingers. You called it earthquake putty, Raquel? We had called it fun tack or silly, you know, what's the other name for it? So you just put that on the feet.
Yeah,
And of course,
that's
the
great.
worst thing about having a big action figure collection is you bang into the shelf or something, and everything falls over.
Yeah, exactly.
Meh.
But if you use the earthquake putty, and nothing
Yeah.
gets wrecked and it all stays in place. And DJ Ronnie G says, interesting. Yeah, it is interesting. I have the costume book, and I forget how much my husband got it for me for. It's like I think the book is like $95 in the United States, but I can't remember what it is. But I just know it's really expensive.
Sticky tack.
And he found out that they had one copy of it left, and they at Indigo Chapters, which is here in Canada, and I forget what they had it for, but it was like a bargain bin amount. And he was like, "I need that book," and so he went and immediately got it for me. And so I think I read it in that book, and I read it in another book that had to do with the costuming, where they talked about that. Where if you look at the fan lore and you look at the way the fans talk, they talk about the how people loved and hated the different uniforms. And this obviously for Wrath of Khan, it was more a military look. They wanted a more militaristic feel, and they wanted it to be sort of like Roman soldiers. And how much more forgiving it is to have a jacket with a belt on than that beautiful look that Gene Roddenberry loved, which is that very futuristic astronaut look from TMP. So yeah, it's super fun to talk about. And that's why I love you guys, because you guys are like the only people I could talk about that with who don't think I'm completely insane.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's fun to show, and I'll post those links in the chat. Is it McCoy? That's McCoy from Next Gen.
Counter
Yep.
at Farpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So let me.
Yes, sir.
Well,
right, good
Comic
night.
Relief Crusader is leaving. Good night, Comic Relief
night,
Crusader.
dude. Have a good one.
So
Have a good one, man. So there he goes. We were both on Next Generation, but I was a lot younger than you.
Yep.
His
I got
skin
stuck on the
looks so
transporter.
good. Scotty's skin looks really good.
Yeah, that's cool. Very cool.
Don't you think the coloring on his skin is quite good?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Indeed.
Oh, yeah,
indeed.
these are good figures. Yeah, I was glad that I got these too. I mean, you collect all that stuff, and you're like, oh, thank God I have these, because they're ones that should be in your collection. Of course, doesn't surprise me that I bought Scotty, but yeah.
Yeah.
And that's such
Everybody's
a
talking about
such a great
Khan's
episode.
boots. I've
made
been
for
doing
walking.
a lot of research on Khan's outfit lately. If that is a hint as to what's to come, I'm going to. I don't want to reveal, but I've been doing a lot of research on it, and the fur, to fur or not to fur, is the question. And in the original wardrobe conception drawings, the fur is clearly there. I don't believe I'm going to do the fur. I don't really see the fur in the movie. I mean, I'm going to go back and watch it. But to fur or not to fur, it's on the official stuff, but you don't see it on film. So it's not canon unless it's on film, right?
Well, there you go. Larry said he got the OG patterns from Lincoln Enterprises. I used to order from them to make the original OG. I'm not gonna say the word.
They're expensive
TOS
now.
men's miniseries big uniforms there. Yes, sir. Wow.
They're expensive now, Larry. You should see how much those patterns are going for on eBay.
Wow.
They're a lot of money now.
Having them in the packaging.
We used to sell those.
Cool collector's item.
Yeah.
To hang on your wall, or really cool hit. So Comic Relief Crusaders heading out. Eric K says.
Yes, sir. He's gone.
Yeah.
He exists.
He exists. I exist because I have action figures.
Eric K exists. Rob Thunderheart said, "Yeah, Welshie. I remember that Futurama. Welshie. Oh Lord, that was funny.
Cool.
Oh, let me grab my
Cool stuff.
Tintin comic. I'll be right back. I'll take 2 seconds.
All right. So all a bunch of cool stuff there, folks. Always a show with Mark C and his buying problem,
Mm-hmm.
his figures problem, as they say.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Eric, he's been switching back and forth between his mics, and he shuts his crisp off so that he's able to pick up the background noise so he can show the sounds from the different things.
I have the Blue Science shirt uniform made by my mom in the 1970s. Wow, nice.
I've never done the shirt. I was gonna order the shirt, pattern and material, but the person wanted way too much money for it. But it was on Etsy, the actual fabric. But that's really expensive. You know what else is really expensive is the original Romulan baldric. It's really expensive. And I think that's only sold by a replica company, and you wouldn't believe how expensive it is. And it's just the material. So I don't think, I've always wanted to do the original Romulan, but it's just too expensive. And, I have no problem sending the material out to be turned into a costume. That's a very complicated costume. And obviously I don't have the skill to do something with that expensive material, but oh my gosh, Larry, that stuff it's premium now. The original blue velour is premium, and I believe you can get it on Etsy, but the original Romulan material, it's only through that replica company, and oh my goodness, you would not believe how much money it is. It's so much money.
Yeah. Wow. Well, cool. Oh my goodness, look at these figures. These are the days when you just see Trek stuff like this and you just go, Trek should never, yeah. But it's also funny because even those ones we were kind of goofing on just now. The fact is, those are still at stores or new ones like that, and the filth. They won't make the filth. I mean, they make a couple items here and there. They just won't move. Nobody cares about them. Nobody buys any of that
no
filth
one
stuff.
wants to buy it, right? But they're not appealing to the generation that actually buys this stuff. Larry says the Delta patches were from Lincoln Enterprises.
Yeah.
I was recently at a con, and there were some people from Quebec on the far, far east in Canada. And they had the licensed original Gangsta Engineering, Science, and Command. And I bought them from them. But I mean, they weren't cheap. I think all three were $40. So but they were the original, they were the original Gangsta stuff. So I just made sure, the patches. And so I didn't care. I just ripped them off the wall, and he had them all up with the patches. And he actually, he said that he had to order them, so he couldn't give us a deal on them or whatever. But I just ripped them off the wall. They were two-way taped to the wall with the rest of the patches. And I said, I'll take all three. I mean, I wasn't going to walk away without them, right? So I just did it. They're on my bookshelf now. I don't know if I'll actually sew them into anything. We'll see, but I do love that I have them.
I wish I could sew because I got so many patches I would like to put on stuff and I can't do it.
Yeah.
So for over the years.
Yeah.
But yeah, so well, Mark must really be searching for that stuff. Oh dear. How's everybody doing tonight though? We're still here with you. We're waiting on Mark. Let's make fun of him while he's gone. How about it, everybody? The enabler in chief.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Says I think items based on the filth do serve an excellent purpose though. They make great items for target practice.
Yeah.
They actually make items for warming pegs at targets. They're peg warmers, as the great Michael French calls them, because nobody buys that crap. But yeah.
Hold on for a second.
Ray action figures time back. I couldn't find it, but I have a consolation prize. Hopefully, Hungry Boys.
Okay,
I call Hungry Boy left, right?
Hold on. Oliver Belmonte is asking me something. Moon. Zero.
Moon 02. Unknown
1969. And then the other one, honey, is Unknown Island. And what year is that?
1948. If you're writing them down, you might as well write Robinson Crusoe on Mars while you're at it. That's a good one.
I couldn't find.
What year is that one?
Oh,
or will I be okay?
As long as Robinson Crusoe on Mars is in the 60s, but I can't remember the year.
Okay, guys. Thanks, guys. I got it.
Hey, Dadman Wonky, what's up, buddy?
Dadman
Look at that. Oh, dude, you ought to be.
Oh my goodness gracious!
You should not do that, man. I'm gonna chastise you for this.
Amazing.
He's got too many extra zeros in there.
Dude, you shouldn't have done that, buddy. He says, "Hail to the greatest Trek captain around." That would be Kirk, sir. But thank you, and the great crew. They are great. Thanks for sharing your passion and everything, even sports ball. We have enjoyed getting into Trek and learning new things. Thank you from all of the Dadman clan. You were too kind.
I love that family.
Dadman, dude, I'm gonna
that whole family. They're just the sweetest people.
Remind me when we meet to smack you upside the head, boy, because that's too kind. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. You and the Dadman clan, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow night. Everybody, of course, be on there at I think it's 7 Eastern time, 7 Eastern. With my buddy Dadman talking some NFL.
Minimus, I don't know if I would ever sew them onto anything, to tell you the truth.
Thanks.
I think that if you have the licensed ones, I think I would probably go the glue route. And I think I don't think I would use
I don't trust the glue. I don't trust the glue.
Or I might use the sewing tape. I love the sewing tape, and that can be removed with heat. And the only reason being is that, you know, if anything ever happened to the costume, I would want to be able to take the patch off without damaging the patch.
Yeah, Fancy. Oh, sorry. Yes.
Go
ahead. This is hardcover Micronauts in French. So, you know, foreign countries that collect the comics, and of course, check how cool this is. You know, from the issue when they're watching Star Trek.
Parlez-vous français?
Oui, oui. So.
No, just took care of that back at the conference. He said, "Oui, get it."
Oui, PP.
So I won't translate. But this art is just fantastic. And I was, visiting relatives.
Michael.
Of course, I bought a bunch of comics.
And see that.
Yeah, Hungry Boy would love to show this next time he's on.
He's
There's Bug, but it's actually printed in book form, and the paper's really nice too. So it's much better paper you get back in the States. So when I saw this at a flea market or where the heck I was back in the day,
Universe.
Yeah. So that was one of the issues I had. Is it Micronauts number 8?
Whoa, it says that's some crap inking. The Golden, I don't think he inked himself on this one.
Well, this is a bunch of, different, so this is part 10 here. So issue 10, I guess, or part 10. Does it say what in the back? What?
I know he inked himself for a while, but I don't know, maybe Bruce Patterson or somebody like, I don't know if Rubinstein inked him on some of these. I don't really know, to be honest. It's been so long. But he doesn't like the inking on it. Dang it. There's no pleasing some Hungry Boys.
Oh, there you go. Hungry Boy's here. Good. Yeah.
He's here.
And this is a hydrocopter. So so I can prove I existed. I've always liked the Micronauts, right? That's when they're meeting Man Thing there. Yep.
You might exist.
So really, God, I love this as a kid. And of course, then you're learning French, so then it'll take you a lot longer to read it. So, but
1964, June, Robinson Crusoe on Mars with Adam West, by the way.
Oh, that's a great movie. That's a really good movie. And of course, there's this mobile exploration lab, I've got this, got this toy, which is cool. And that's a variant of it. Yeah. So yeah, just a great comics. It's just fun to have these. I wonder what they say in the beginning here. That says which issues it's from. Here we go. I'll check this out so you can get Power Man, a Thunderbolt.
Didn't like Wyachek, eh? Sorry, Hungry Boy. I don't know. I know Wyachek also worked on this, but I can't remember. You know, Michael Goldman did a lot of his own inkings for a while on some of these.
Yeah, so it's 1979. Copyright 81. Yeah, it doesn't say. Well, you know, you've got the credits there: Mantlo, Gold, and Desson here. So, but it's as a kid, I just treasured this. Having, you know, look how cool that art is for Baron Karza.
Great stuff.
That's great stuff. So I grabbed that.
That's a cool volume there. Where'd you get that?
In Switzerland.
Oh, okay. When though? Recently? I mean, recently?
No, I got that in as a kid, so probably in
okay.
1980 or something. Yep.
Nice.
So I have a few. I just, you know, we want to take too long tonight, but I was going through my shelf. You know, as I was looking for Tintin, I found a couple of books. Raquel probably doesn't want to see these, I guess, but like here's like
Andy Masterson. What's up, brother?
Hey, Andy.
Good to see you there, pal. Love some Micronauts. Captain Kirk.
You don't have your mic.
Wow.
The captain's
before Kirk.
Jeffrey Hunter.
Yeah.
So this is I guess was this a fanzine or what? I'm trying to.
Is that one of those?
Well, I don't know, but you could just slide that into an envelope and mail that to me.
That's one of those Files magazines from the 80s. I used to buy all those Files mags by what's that guy's name? Let me see the front. Again, yeah.
John Peel.
Yeah, the John Peel. That's right. John Peel did a lot of stuff in the 80s. I used to buy his mags all the time. We got Cardinal Sin. Cardinal Sin, you're the first person to ever make this joke, which proves that you exist. Thank you for the $4.99 super chat, buddy. I appreciate you. He says STTMP. I'm not sure what that stands for personally. Where no man has gone before. So equals where no man has gone before. I'm not sure what that joke means.
Wah, wah.
I can't say I'm not guilty of making the same joke, so I can't judge you, as a friend says. So thank you, Cardi. Okay, I'll spell it out. Star Trek: The Motion Picture equals where no man has gone before, because you see, it's very similar in plot to the Changeling. Are you happy now, Cardi? Thank you, thanks, Cardi.
Ooh, let's see who gets credit for creating Robert April in this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so these are great. So were these sold as magazines, or was this because it's kind of like a hardcover now?
Yeah, he did like that format. He did magazine format. He did a book called a regular magazine called Enterprise Incidents. They later just called it Enterprise. It was a fan mag of the 80s that I used to buy all the time. They had one that had a running fiction story in there called The Doctor in the Enterprise, where the Tom Baker Doctor met the original crew Enterprise. So
yeah, they got Doctor Who ones. No, these books are great. Yeah, they're great to read. They're, you know, Star Trek Year One, the crew book. You know, some great stuff.
Always, I have the Prisoner
Couch Potato book catalog. Yeah,
I have the Man from U.N.C.L.E. one, the Avengers one. John Peel did a lot of Avengers books. Man, just that brings back memories of the 80s. From the 80s, there he had a bunch of cool stuff. Doctor Who stuff. I think he was a Brit.
He must be a certified couch potato to take part of this offering. You must watch a minimum of 25 hours a day, at least 8 days a week. And that's great art there. I love that art. That's cool.
Yeah, he did some great art. I have a bunch of his Enterprise Incidents magazines. Raquel, you'd love those. Great covers. Cool. I bought Enterprise Incidents, and then later they called it Enterprise, like I said. Or they actually had a different one called Enterprise, maybe. But I bought Enterprise Incidents all throughout the 80s. Nice. Yeah, he did these book formats too, but he also had like mags.
Yeah. This is great.
Nice.
So, I don't know if Wolfie's here, but
you could just put that into an envelope.
I don't think you'd
just mail that to me.
I don't think you'd care for such thing. Okay, you might like it.
Yeah, and then they had the designer.
Like such things. You might like
Hua Chang. I think that ship disappeared, didn't it? The bird of the Romulan bird of prey.
Well, I
think it
I
was
talked
lost,
about
was
that
it?
in
Oh,
the
yeah,
blog
right? What'd you-
text.
Cardinal Sin, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Too kind. He says, "Is it true that there was a legit Star Trek Doctor Who crossover?" Well, it was. I mean, it was sort of like fan fiction, but it was in a magazine called Enterprise. It was actually like a magazine format, and it was in multiple parts. First, of course, it was the Fourth Doctor and the original crew. Well, at that time, there only was an original crew when that one came out. It was the early '80s, and then later somebody actually compiled it, but it was just it was prose fiction. It wasn't a comic book. Then later, of course, a number of years back, IDW did some comics where they had the 11th Doctor, Matt Smith, meet the TNG crew. They fought Cybermen and the Borg, and in one of the off issues, one of the tie-in issues, the special issue, it had actually the Fourth Doctor meeting the original crew and the Cybermen. There was a comic that was an offshoot of that. So those are, as far as written and comics wise, crossovers between Doctor Who and Star Trek. Some fun stuff. I have, like I said, Enterprise magazine was called one in Enterprise. The prose story was called The Doctor and the Enterprise, and it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And the other one, the comic wasn't that bad. I don't know if you ever saw those, Mark, but you probably saw them. But
yeah, I think I bought a lot of these on eBay.
I was talking about the IDW.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I never. Oh, yeah. I did see. Yeah.
The Doctor Who, Star Trek, Next Generation one. Yeah.
So that's another nice fan one. I love the title on this.
So I guess the answer to your question, Cardi, was that the legit one would be the comic book because that was licensed through IDW. The not necessarily licensed one was the one from the early '80s. But this is these Files magazines and books are great. Look at that one. Raquel does not want that one, by the way. Just let you know.
You can just slide that into an envelope and you could just mail that to me.
An envelope. Make sure you put a lot of backing boards and bag that up really good. Yeah.
Bag it up good, yep. So complete tour guide of the many worlds of Star Trek universe. Yep. Money, diseases, souvenirs, paperwork. No traveling before. So but yeah, just really great stuff in these. And,
where'd you get these? About when it came out? Or?
I think most of these I bought. I was buying a ton of stuff on eBay back in the day. I just had Star Trek.
Fleabag.
And I think I bought like 20 or 30 of them from one person. For.
If you go to the right comic shops, you will find comic shops loaded with these, just sitting back collecting dust for they'll sell, trying to get rid of them for $1 a piece, $2 a piece, or whatever. And so because nobody really. I mean, they were. A lot of people ordered fairly heavily on them. A lot of comic shops, because when Star Trek was really huge back then, of course, and some of the other shows, the Files magazines, the Files books like that. Yeah.
And they're not in color either. I mean, as nice as they look, that's another thing too. So they're maybe didn't
Why
sell
do
as
people
well.
need color?
I don't know.
Because it was pretty expensive back then, and they weren't sure of themselves.
Yeah. I love all the colonies and stuff. So
I don't need color to enjoy those. I don't.
I thought you said why aren't they in color? Sorry.
No.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying that would, if someone saw this on a shelf today.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a black and white book. Why do? Yeah.
Even back then, a lot of people didn't. Only your hardcore Trek fans.
Those people. Yeah. They need shin kicks.
I knew you were going to say that.
Violence by the young lady perpetrated by Captain Kirk. I would ask the courtroom to visualize that moment. I love that episode. I don't care what anyone says. I love that episode.
I love you. I do. I love you. I think you're the best. Oh, did you get that gift from Cardi?
Yeah, I did. This one here.
Yeah.
I answered it when we were talking about Doctor Who. Didn't I answer that one?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I zoned out. I'm sorry.
I can answer it again if you want, but I was just telling yes, there is. Yeah. Maybe no one heard me. I hope he heard my answer.
No, or maybe I should just pay more attention.
No, you shouldn't.
I'm pooped. I'm kind of tired now, guys.
Hey, no, don't worry about paying attention. In fact, we'll get out of here in a little bit if you want. So,
I'd love to. I'm sorry. I'm just absolutely.
No. I know you're tired.
Spent.
I
That's
did
okay. Yeah.
three streams. I streamed for about almost 8 hours straight last night. No, two half-hour breaks, I think, because I had, between the streams, I did 3 different shows. Proud of it, by the way. I'm just saying.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you must have been tired. Yep.
Yeah.
He's on a mission to break his new computer.
Well, because I already broke it tonight. I already killed
Computer.
on me once.
Hello, computer.
It killed on me once already.
Fingers crossed this computer is going to keep working because
I
I was
so. I'd be in
joking
trouble
before,
without
but well, my computer, the one I'm on
yours?
now, yeah. Well, I kept crashing and dying, and I'd taken a computer I was going to build for another project at work, so I've been using that for the last couple of months. But on my old computer, I kept reinstalling Windows, changing the memory. I bought a new hard drive, changed the power supply. I changed everything except the CPU and the motherboard, and then I changed the motherboard. Still started, it would work for like a few days, and started crashing. I said,
Oh, sure.
let me just buy a new CPU, and fingers, it's expensive. Like fingers crossed this works, so I can return the bad one.
Yeah,
Night,
and
Pop.
it's been working so
night,
far.
Pop.
Good night, Pop.
So
It's
that's
been
what
working
hoping
so
keeps
far.
working
Knock
on
on
you.
wood. It's
This
just
one
such a
goes out, I'm
pain.
gonna be in trouble.
No,
It
you'll
already
be all
killed
right.
on me. Indie Key Comics. Hello there.
Hello.
Andy,
He's currently building
That's
the
nice.
computer. Wow, there you go. That's cool.
very cool. Yeah.
My son might build
Emulation is
one.
really fun. Yeah.
Brian.
Baling wire and duct tape. But and I had a huge project due when the computer died. I was doing.
Brian's gone Klingon on you, Mark.
I was going Klingon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to say that Mark's computer should be hauling garbage. I meant to say that it should be hauled away as garbage.
Oh, you nailed it because he does
that's
say
awesome.
garbage. Oh, I love
Garbage.
that. That's great.
That's
that was
awesome.
so good, Club.
I like to lead up to when Scott goes, laddie, don't you think you should rephrase that? You're right. I should. I didn't mean to say that the Enterprise should be hauling garbage. I meant to say that it should be hauled away as garbage. Okay, and then that music. That's one of the things I love, Trial and Tribulations, but they changed the music for that, which is a shame. It was better in Trial and Tribbles, in Trouble with Tribbles. But yeah. Anyway, I love that scene. Sorry. Yeah. The Earthers like those fuzzy things, don't they? Well, frankly, I never liked Earthers. They remind me of regular bloodworms. Oh, I just remembered. There is one Earthman who doesn't remind me of a regular bloodworm. That's Kirk. A regular bloodworm is soft and shapeless. But Kirk isn't soft. He may be an overbearing, swaggering, tin-plated dictator with delusions of godhood, but he isn't soft. But I got it wrong, though. It reminded me of a Danubian slime devil. Sorry, I got that all wrong. I messed the line up.
Danubian slime devil. Yep. Your agonizer, please. Yeah,
Your agonizer,
I
please.
forgot that. He may be
20% of that.
Your agonizer, please.
a Danubian slime devil. That's right. That goes, well, that's right. Oh, okay. He goes to, man, I'm all messed up. But you heard what he called the captain. Forget it. We're big enough to take a few insults, aren't we? That's right. Everyone's entitled to an opinion. Nah, I said all messed up. Here we go. And if
You
I
got it.
think that Kirk is a Danubian slime devil, well, that's my opinion too. Nah, anyway. Oh man, I messed my lines up, folks. I should
That's
be
okay.
destroyed.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Very
all
close.
good. All good.
I mean, actors are. I know they take a lot of shots to get their lines right and everything, but damn it. What is that, Dad Man?
Oh.
What did Dad Man want? What did he
You
say?
know what he wants.
Oh no.
Oh,
hard.
okay.
Body stick.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Live in infamy.
Oh boy. The waddy sticks.
Yeah, I like that guy. That actor plays. He was in other treks too.
He was.
Yeah, he was in a couple of the later stuff. Yeah. He was a good Klingon. Well. Well, We need to get you out of here. Number one, you're tired. and
Yeah,
you've
you
got
got to
things
get a
do.
hamburger or something,
It's
right?
a school. It's a school.
Sorry, I
night.
had a really super long day, you guys. Otherwise, I'd love
Yeah,
to hang
no,
out with
no.
you. You
No, that's
guys
all right.
We did 2.5
recharge my
hours.
batteries.
That's
We did
pretty
2.5
long time.
hours.
Yeah.
We did 2.5 hours. Unless anybody's got any questions for me, of course, if anyone out there, you could ask one question each, as long as it's not that one about where babies come from, because I've told you enough. Anything else,
Any
I mean, you
question?
From those spherical cube, the Horta babies come from those cube, the spheres.
Right. I stole that from Blackadder, by the way. That wasn't mine. Yeah. So
I gotta get those purple balls. You can order them from Walmart, and I want to do a Horta
That would
for
be
the
painful.
front yard for the.
A Horta thingy. Oh, you
Yeah, I
want
want
to
to
make a
do
Horta?
a Horta display for Halloween. I want to do the Horta, and then I want to get as many of those purple balls from Wally World as I can, and just spread them all over the yard. The neighbors will have no idea what it is, but that's okay.
Where do tribbles come from? David Gerald. From his bong. Sorry. I was about to say something really nasty about David.
Be careful.
2 of 2. Here's my comment to Esty, whoever that is. Is Esty? Hello, Esty. Am I saying that right? I love Megaforce with Barry Bostwick. You and Persis Kambata, eh? And Super Megaforce. I don't know that that's a sequel. To be honest, regardless of what anyone would say, keep up the good work and may the power protect you. You know something, Donnie? You can like anything you want around here. To be honest with you,
There was a super Megaforce.
I don't know. I know Megaforce, the old movie from the 80s with Barry Bostwick and Persis Kambata, but I do not know of a Super Megaforce. Look, he might be talking about some manga for all we know. But when I think about Megaforce,
that's Power Rangers Super Megaforce. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Well, Megaforce.
What's the difference between a jambalaya and gumbo again? I forget. One has rice and one doesn't, right?
Oh yeah, jambalaya is rice.
Yeah.
I love jambalaya better, but gumbo. Well, it's rice also, but gumbo's like a soupy thing. It's like you can put rice in it. You put rice in it, but you also have See, that's the Megaforce I was thinking about.
Yeah, this was huge in the comics in terms of the advertising for like a year.
Gumbo's like
every
a soup
comic
thing,
book you opened had
soupy.
was riff tracks had Megaforce. Oh, and it
Oh,
was
we
supposed
have
to
a great
be like
question from Lisa.
This is Donnie. This is what when you said Megaforce, this is what I thought you were talking about, buddy. So, Lisa says,
get Lisa up there.
Format to join the Voyager reviews. Do you just type a review and that's it? Well, yeah, Voyager or DS9, whichever ones you want to review. All you do is it always helps us to keep it like at the 4 tweets range. No, you're not tweets. Listen to me. Post minimum, and just like one of one. And then you put like your score, whether it's an A or B or D or C, whatever, and whatever words you have about the episode and how many ever posts it takes, and then it can be. You don't have, if you're only doing one, then you only have to say you don't have to put anything like that. But if you do more than one, it's good to number them: 1 of 1, 2 of 2, and it's that simple.
Yeah, and don't feel any pressure to do that because like the review, you're allowed to have your say. Either like to retort what we're saying or to expound upon something we didn't touch on or that we mentioned but maybe we didn't like get too thoroughly, stuff like that. But I don't want you to feel like you're beholden to have some big long review. You don't have to do that.
You can just put A or B or C.
Yeah, you can give it a rating of 1 to 5. You can give it you can rate it like it's a university paper where it's like A, B, C. You can also do it like out of 100, like 80%, or this is like 90% of what I want out of science fiction or whatever, or Star Trek. But I want you to feel free to participate however you want. There's something you should know, Lisa, as you say, I do type really slow. Don't feel like pressured to do that because a lot of the people who are participating who are doing multiples, they have it all pre-ready. Like they have it ready to go before the show. And if you want to respond organically with just a few sentences or whatever, we love that just as much. So don't feel any pressure to live up to what everyone else is doing. Everyone has their own thing. And we just love that you're going to be there. You know that, Lisa? We just love that you're going to be there, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, we'll absolutely love it. Brian Hepburn explains it way better than I could have. Gumbo is a thick stew that is served with rice separately. And jambalaya it's not necessarily a stew because it's not watery. It is stuff. It's it's rice with things cooked into it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I love jambalaya. I love the most, but my mom makes great jambalaya. But I do like gumbo as long as it's chicken and sausage gumbo. Sometimes they make filth gumbo.
Well,
Like
because there are two distinct cultures where you live, right? Like one is Cajun and the other one is Creole, right?
But they make the same filth. They still put filth in it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I always hesitate to speak to that issue because I know that you have a very a beautiful culture there that is Cajun, and you have all of these Cajun traditions, but then completely separate from that, and a lot of people don't realize this, but completely separate from that is the Creole side, and the Creole has its own traditions and its own ideas and its own way of doing things. So whenever I get asked a question about Louisiana food, I just shut up, and the first thing I say is, hey, is it like this? Because I'm never quite sure. And people should know the difference and not be very sure. Always ask people like Clobby,
I don't know crap.
Who actually lives there.
I live here and still don't know crap about.
It's so good.
Yeah, people love it. They love the food down here. And me,
that's good.
I I guess it didn't really do anything for me.
I ate like 30 oysters one night, and the missus like, "That's it, you're cut off," because they had like or 36 or whatever. It was buy a dozen get a dozen free or whatever the heck it was. I'm like, I want another.
But it looks so bad. Like it looks like a form of like body mucus. Like
it tastes so good, especially with a good drink or beer. Oh, it's so good.
Yuck. So it's so disgusting. I could never imagine eating an oyster raw. Like just swallowing it.
Well, you don't have to worry about me ever doing it. I'm forcing you to do it.
So I guess I'm not inviting you over to have tripe tonight, right?
No!
What the? But I want some jambalaya now. I have to give my mom to make some.
And I hear your mom makes a great one, yeah.
Well, it's greatness. I love it.
His mom makes something called pastelaya, or is that his brother?
No, not my mom. It's my brother, and my mom doesn't make that, but she could. But
his brother makes something called pastelaya, and he showed me a picture of it, and I wanted to die. It looked so delicious. It's like this really super brown roux that is like super buttery and the pasta, the color of it.
He makes it spicy. I love it. It's got sausage and and I think the sausage and chicken and of course pasta, and it's just he's got this gigantic iron pot that they make a big ton of it and. Takes hours so now. It just smells so good. I love me some pastelaya. He makes it often. It's great stuff. So
my daughter made me eat tonight.
Put in the chat because I'll gag, but that's a very good description. Look at Hungry Boy.
I was laughing at that. Yeah.
I can't say it or I'll gag.
My daughter made me eat chocolate covered dates with frozen with peanut butter. I can't stand any I can eat oysters and tripe and sea bugs, but I can't eat raisins or grapes or like lima beans.
What's your problem? You're so weird.
I'm very weird. And she's like, Dad, I made this special like healthy dessert. You got to try it. I'm like, I tried half. I was like, oh, dates are like big disgusting raisins. It's like I can't do it.
Dear Larry just cleansed the chat by saying chocolate covered cherries. Thank you for cleansing the chat, Larry. I love you.
Next week we'll talk about Super Bowl recipes. What Super Bowl parties? I'm just kidding.
Oh yeah,
because Mark's making stuff. He's already getting stuff for the Super Bowl party that he's not even doing until next week. Not until next week. I don't know if you know. Number one, but the Super Bowl is like it's a national holiday. It's just it's a holiday here. It is. It should be declared one, but it is one because it's on Sunday.
Well, if you all vote for me for president, I'm declaring the Monday after Super Bowl a national holiday, so you don't have to go to work.
Until, as you know, my disenchantment with my 50 some odd year love affair with the NFL. Cavatino, what's up? Good to see you.
Cavatino, Cameron Jay, hello. I love you too, Larry.
But before that happened, My favorite holiday of the year was the Super Bowls. Christmas. I love Christmas time, and so the extra month leading up to the Super Bowl was like an extra month of Christmas for me always because of the playoffs and everything. I just the way I was about it. So even now, even though I'm just kind of disenchanted with it, I still love Super Bowl Sunday, and I love Super Bowl history anyway. And so even though I don't like what the NFL is right
Good
now,
time to eat.
and I'll be on there tomorrow night talking about that with my buddy Dad, man. But so.
Are you going to have Super Bowl snackies?
It's going to be a gathering, like always. I'm not sure where I'm going yet. I think probably the one. I think for the past 20 years, we've been going to my nephew's place, so I'll probably be doing that again. And it's a big thing in this country. And well, I mean, they show it all over the world. I mean, it airs live everywhere on the whole planet. It's the most viewed thing there is, but
not everybody cares about it. May I please ask?
It's not this Sunday, but next. It's that I mean they show it up. I know you don't watch it, but they show it up there, right? You all know about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm just asking because my husband entered me in a chili contest on Thursday the 9th, and I thought it might have something to do with that, but it doesn't.
Oh, okay. You put meat in your chili, or you just strictly beans?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I put a lot of meat in my chili, like a lot.
Chili con carne. Yep.
Cardinal, it's a bowl with super things in it.
But I don't cook my chili with kidney beans, Mark.
Thank you. Yep. I do like beans, and
I do navies, I do black, I do chick, I'll even do pinto. I'll do any kind of bean, but I don't like doing the kidney bean because they cause a lot of gastrointestinal issues for people, and it's not just like they really do a number on a lot of people, and it's just not comfortable. And definitely too, I find that there are a lot of beans that taste quite buttery, and I think that being able to have a really cheesy, meaty, yummy, buttery chili is really good with like a nice chewy Italian bun with gobs of butter on it. I like the more richness of a buttery type of bean as opposed to the kidney bean, which I find very unpleasant. I don't think it has good mouthfeel. And it also makes everyone get a tummy ache. It's not good. It's not good. Not a big.
Cardinal's mentioning what he uses. I use Carroll Shelby because if you're a Mustang fan, got to use Carroll Shelby's chili kit with his chili powder and spices. So I always use that. It's just as a base.
I don't use a chili kit. I use my own. I use my own blend of spices.
Well, I start with that and then I doctor, but. Whenever I walk down the aisle and I see Carroll Shelby chili, I've got to.
I don't even know what that is.
He's the creator of the Ford Shelby Cobra.
Yeah.
So the muscle car. So he made the racing versions of that car, like the super duper versions.
Yeah.
And if you watched Ford versus Ferrari, the movie's all about him and running the Daytona, the 24 hours of Le Mans, so 24 hours of Daytona. So one of the greatest American muscle car / racers. So
I did watch the Ford special.
Yep. So that's Carol.
Did you watch that on Netflix?
I went to the movie theater to watch that one. Yeah.
That's a gooder.
What, Ford versus Ferrari?
Yep, Ford versus Ferrari. Yep.
I think that's what it's called. Yeah, it's like the documentary of.
Oh no, that wasn't a documentary though.
Oh, okay.
Something different.
Yeah, there are probably some documentaries on it, but this was Matt Damon played Carroll Shelby.
Oh no, I don't watch Matt Damon movies. I'd rather be drawn and quartered.
No, he was good.
Lisa's asking everyone for their opinions, and we need to pay attention to Lisa because I love her. So let's pay attention. Lisa is asking everyone to weigh in. Is this going to be a mild chili, a medium chili, or a spicy chili?
Medium.
Oh, you're a medium guy.
I'm not. I mean, I don't want too spicy. I like a little spicy.
Mark?
Well, I like make mine really spicy, but some of the people in my house have very weak weak stomach. So what I do, I make it just a little spice, maybe medium, but then you can always
But
add
are
red
you
hot
over
sauce.
50? How do you lie down afterwards? Like when I was
You should see my
younger,
mom, Raquel. She
I
eats
could
hot
eat
red
anything.
pepper. She eats hot red peppers, and she's over. Am I allowed to say over 80? Grandma will get me. She won't hear this, but she eats and she takes red pepper, and
Yeah.
just the hot red pepper, and it's all over everything. She's got an
Oh
iron
wow.
stomach. I mean, she
Yeah.
loves, and she eats the hot peppers. So
I can't do it anymore. Lisa, I am also mild, but I make up for it with smoke. So I really like smoky, but I'm also mild. So I like to get the really nice smoky flavors coming in through the spices that I use. But yes, I definitely am mild. I'm like I said, I really like the smoky, cheesy, buttery style chili, and I hope that that wins me the contest. I mean, I've been making this chili the same way for I don't know. I mean, back when I owned restaurants, I've been making this chili like this for this long. So I hope it does well. But it's not everyone's cup of tea. A lot of people like super spicy chili. A lot of people
I don't
expect
need it
to have
spicy.
kidney beans in it. You know, and then you meet the people like you have to remember that I live in Alberta, and Alberta is the Texas of the North, like literally the Texas of the North. And when I say literally, I'm not using that superfluously or incorrectly. We're always referred to as that, and it's like the same type of cultural mechanism here as it is for Texas, where you guys live. So there are cattlemen up here, ranchers up here, like we're in the foothills of the mountains. It's pretty hardcore. So I do think that there will be some people at this chili contest who may feel very strongly about not having any beans in the chili at all because of that Texas idea, right? Just make it meat and make it spicy, but for me, that's sloppy joes. Sloppy Joe, sloppy Joe.
yeah, and my
Um,
secret ingredient is
I like sloppy joes.
yeah, me too.
I live with that
bourbon in
forever.
my. I put bourbon in my chili.
Oh no, I don't put bourbon in my chili. I would never put any type of
You mean like
alcohol. Well,
you mean
maybe
like
a bottle of beer, but
you mean like McCoy did in Star Trek 5?
yeah.
Yeah, I
But
always
no,
gotta do
that's
that. Yeah.
that was just
No, that was Kansas
beans
City
and
whiskey.
wieners.
That was whiskey. No, he put whiskey. That's right.
They
Yeah,
put whiskey in.
I think it was some whiskey. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I put it adds a nice flavor to it. It cooks off after, you cook it for like 5 or 6 hours anyway, so the alcohol burns off, but it leaves a nice flavor.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Donnie Pearson says that he would like to come to Canada, that Alberta is on his bucket list. Well, it should be. Alberta is, I would definitely say, the most beautiful place in Canada because of being in the foothills and because we have Jasper and Banff. And so it's like two of the most beautiful places. And British Columbia is beautiful too, but just it's also being in the prairies. Like I was born in Ontario. I've been to everywhere in Canada, lived in many places in Canada, but there are few things as magical and crazy as being in a wheat field and then going all the way from like where like Drumheller, where all of the dinosaur bones are, and you have all these hoodoos everywhere, and then on the other side, just these massive Rocky Mountains, and it's really crazy. I
Hey,
highly
Cali
Sounds
Comics.
amazing.
Cali
Hey, Cali
Comics.
Comics.
Hello, welcome.
Hell, Kelly.
Yeah.
Well, sauteing red wine before
Well-
making. I've never done red wine. I always saute my garlic and onion, and I do like a whole pot of onions. Basically, I love the onions. Yeah. So how do we get on food here? Was it my fault?
I don't know.
We always
this
do.
time it was my fault because I
It's
was
the
just, I
clubhouse.
didn't know. I should have known it was going to go on forever. I just mentioned it, but yeah.
Hey, Raquel
Well,
wanted to leave. What I do want to show my video real quick that I did my short. No volume,
Okay.
of course, because we can't. But if you check out my Silver Surfer short, and there's something cool in the background. But let's see if that shows up. Let me do full screen here. So just one of these quick shorts, but you got to see the Silver Surfer tonight. But
Nice.
you can see what's in the background there. Might be of interest to some people.
Very cool.
There you go.
Very cool.
Oh, we got
Crap. Look who's here.
Zatras, what's up, buddy? Well, everyone, I'll tell you what, I appreciate you all being here tonight. It was great fun as always. You've all been fantastic. Just appreciate you so much. Christopher Dominguez,
Christopher,
welcome.
hi.
Hello there.
Hey, Chris.
Good to see you. But it is time for us to depart another clubhouse extraordinaire, and you've all been fantastic. Some any closing words, number one?
I love you all very much. Thank you for joining us. I love your conversations, and your support of us is just unbelievable. You are such great conversationalists. Each and every one of you is very important to us here. We're nothing without you. And I want to thank all of our wrenches. You guys know how I feel about you. You guys go above and beyond. I mean, you work for some of the biggest channels on YouTube, and yet here you are promoting us, being friends with us, just being so caring, and then also being a part of our community, being a part of the conversations. We love you guys so much. Thank you for all the work you do. You're the unsung heroes of this channel and just of the internet in general. And I want to thank Mark. Mark, thank you so much for everything that you showed us tonight. Thank you for just being a great panelist and a great friend who always has something interesting and wonderful to share. You're such a good-hearted, good-natured person, and we all love you very much. And Clubby, I just want to tell you that I love you. You're one of the best friends I ever had in this whole wide world. Thank you for creating this space for all of us to come together and to talk about the things that we love. You are the absolute best. We all love you very much. And that's about it for me, everyone.
Love
and
you.
Thank you so much for everyone who supports my work, who supports my book, and they're out there on Patreon and out there every day supporting me as an indie artist. It means the world to me. I can't thank you enough. I definitely don't want to. I definitely don't want to die like my heroes, like H.P. Lovecraft and Edgar Allan Poe, without having my work out there. And you're helping me to get it out there. And I don't even know how to thank you for your generosity and your kindness toward me. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just thank you for being here. You make my day and make my night every time. So I love you much, number one. But wait, for $2 says Cardinal thinks Cardinal Skin Sin. I can't say, I can't talk. I'm so burned out from 8 hours of streaming yesterday, so I apologize. Thank you, Cardi. Appreciate that. But what am I waiting for? You said wait.
What? What
Wait
are we
for
waiting
what?
for?
I don't know.
We'll wait for you, but
You
Well, he
said
wants us to
wait.
wait. He wants us to, not to go, I guess. Yeah, just
No.
keep going.
we have to
Keep
Thank
go.
going.
you
Yeah.
all, Clobberize, the panel, the mods and chatters. Thank you, Cardinal Sin. I want a big
thank
shout
you.
out to Cardinal Sin for you. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Mark, any closing words?
Sure. Yep. So yeah, and thank you for those kind words, Raquel, and really, you always have a great time on Thursday night here, hanging out at the clubhouse. Thank you, Clobbering Times, for getting the gang together. Always a great time, and yeah, great chat as usual. A lot of fun hanging out in our virtual con tonight. So much appreciated. And yeah, so yeah, this Sunday we will have Cincinnati Geekery, and I think Retro Nerd Girl said she probably can make it as a special guest, which will be nice. So got to double confirm that, but it'll be awesome to have her on if she can stop by for a bit. And also, I guess we'll probably celebrate 500 subs. So thank you to everyone who subbed.
Congratulations.
So, thank you. Yeah, thank you guys and everyone in the chat and everyone who's watched the videos and
Listen,
hung out
you
with our
are such a
streams.
beautiful person. You are so smart and funny and generous with your time and your heart. And you just love so many cool and interesting things. This is just the beginning for you, Mark D with a C. There will be many, many more, because people are attracted to kind, sincere, funny, cool people. And that's you, dude. That's you.
Thank you so much. Yep. Really appreciate it. So yeah, so it's been a great ride, and the fun fun continues. There's a lot of fun to do. Oh, and tomorrow night? I'm running a Pinewood Derby tomorrow afternoon, helping to run one. So with the Scouts, so that should be fun. If anyone remembers those wooden cars you put on the track, so that's the other fun event I'll be doing over the weekend. But yeah, looking forward to. And there's no sports ball this weekend. What am I going to do? I guess
you can watch that stupid Pro Bowl stuff.
I can watch the flag football. Is Tom Brady playing now that he's retired, or no?
Retired? He's retired this week.
He is retired this week.
Yeah, he's coming. I think he's gonna go to the Broncos.
I think he's done.
Just kidding. Sean Payton went to the Broncos. He's gonna go somewhere. Yeah, he's gonna come back till he's 50. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Just thank you for all those wonderful contributions and all the great chat. You're all amazing. I want to thank all of our fantastic wrenches. We shout them out whether they're still here or not. Eric K., the Bronze Wrencher, the Vindicated Wrencher, the North Chris Persia, the great D. Bud Martin, the great Lord Thoth, Avon Lives Long Live the Legion, Hail Lady Thoth, the great J-Man, my partner in crime on Earth B, the Clavoni Master Hungry Boy, Super Wrench Kal-El, wielder of Mjolnir, Wrench Mjolnir, Baddy's Daddy, and Fanty Outsider. Appreciate you all. And of course, everyone who was here tonight, thank you so much. It's just been just amazing, fantastic, and really, really, really do appreciate you all. And sorry I'm loopy tonight.
It's okay. I am too. I am too. I'm just really tired. Got lots of stuff going on behind the scenes. So I'm sorry if I was off tonight, everyone.
You were not off. You were amazing.
Thank you. You are always amazing. And thank you, Larry. Larry, I appreciate that. It was just one of those goofy things I like to make. Zathras, always good to see you, buddy. And always good to see all of you who are here tonight. And we will forgot the show note. Tomorrow night on my great buddy Dadman Walking channel. Please, if you've not subscribed to my good buddy Dadman, and his link is in my description below. And I think we can if we can get a link up there of someone, please go subscribe to my dear friend Dadman Walking's channel. He's got a great and up-and-coming channel. I'll be over there tomorrow night with him at 7 p.m. Eastern time, talking some NFL. We'll talk about last week's NFL playoff games and look forward to the Super Bowl and maybe talk some Super Bowl trivia and things like that, Super Bowl history perhaps.
Nice.
Whatever he wants to do. And then at 8:30 Central Standard Time, the great Nick Weiser's channel, my buddy and Nick and I and the Comic Shop Boys will review Infinity Gauntlet number 5. And then, of course, Saturday Night Star Trek. It's the season 4 rap party of Deep Space Nine. One episode to review. Then hopefully a couple of our crew members, if they can make it, Lord Thoth and Jill will join us. We will talk about our best episodes, our worst episodes, and just the general look back at season 4 before we come back the following week and pick up on season 5. So thank you all so much. Looking forward to that. It's going to be fantastic, and I'll be over there at the clubhouse. I mean, the Geekery with
Thank you. Yeah,
with Mark. And I do have something scheduled. I think I got something scheduled for Monday night, but I'm not exactly sure yet for the Mark C Comics talk. But anyway, we'll figure it out. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Have a fantastic weekend, my friends. And let's get out of here. Clobber on, clobbers. I don't know what's happening.
What about you? What about me?
I just love